Back page, no 24-hour economy without stable electricity. VRA chief executive. EU to boost Ghana's defense with new support. Also on the back page. The Daily Guide is the final newspaper I have. Don't sign tribunal's bill. Mawuena to Mahama. Story on page 3. Gold board bags 54 tons in 6 months. NPP must regain business trust. Oforiata US ruling pops up, and global oil promises jobs development for host communities. Disregard misinformation against Adamo's resources, and Edubuahe trial. AG admits absence of key evidence. Those are the ones I have.
Okay, there's a lot more that you will deal with as and when. Let me continue with the Today newspaper. Today newspaper says hoteliers seek lawful pathway in new Ghana card era. Also, 1,500 inmates enrolled. That's got to do with informal education over the past 70 years. And this is the prison chief who's saying that over 1,500 inmates have been enrolled in informal education over the past 70 years. Tribunal's bill not cast in stone, says Ayariga, and that story is on page 2 of the Today newspaper. And the banner headline says, Mahama snubs 2028 calls focused on final term. That is the Today newspaper. Also, the Business and Financial Times has on its front page, Middle East crisis tests forex resilience as oil import bills soar. Also, Pan-African AI Summit 2026 is one that has got the lead speaker, Lasina Kone. And savings and loans, Bayport reports strong H1 2026 performance. MIF, that is MIIF, Minerals Investment and Minerals Income and Investment Fund, posts 1.1 billion Ghana cedis audited profits in 2025. And on the banner headline says, is Cocobot rebuilding investor trust ahead of $1 billion US bond? That is a question being asked. And one final one on the page, Sechua Community Bank records growth in all indicators. Also, Flaxpots and banner headline says, rot at NPA in 2025, 78.6 million Ghana cedis. Says Auditor General uncovers massive fuel diversions, unmarked fuel, and regulatory failures. So that is it. The expose this morning says, I stand for the foot soldiers, Neil Antivandapoy. And then Oforiata's extradition to Ghana imminent despite permanent residency. This according to ICE. Disregard false information against Adamus in its operational area, Salma, and then restore Adamus' license. They've created employment for many people. This is the chief to Amabua. Daily Searchlight says, Mawuena to Mahama, don't sign public tribunal's bill yet. Also, Henry Nana Boakye declares bid for NPP National Affairs Chair. Concerned citizens of Ghana calls on the government to address attacks on Ghanaian companies. And ECOWAS backs Ghana's push against xenophobic attacks in South Africa. That is the Searchlight. The New Crusading Guide today. Attorney General suffers major setback in Edubuahe trial. Also, you can't fight NPP and win. Come back home. Coca edges, is it base? Okay, base party. All right, okay. Double jeopardy at First Bank Ghana. And Henry Nana Boakye declares bid for NPP National First Vice. And then NPP must regain trust of businesses through new prosperity agenda. This is coming from Paul Afoko. And then the banner headline, Annan moves to strike out charges. Hearing fixed for today. Today is going to be a very good day. And let's see how things go. Whether it's positive for one person or the other, well, Ghana must lead, Ghana must win.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The publisher says, don't sign, Mawuena tells Mahama. Tribunal bill resurrects PNDC era ghosts. Military jobs scam. 73 victims lose 1.6 million Ghana cedis. Afoko outlines economic restoration strategy. Nana B contests NPP first vice chair. And let's see. Oh, the custodian Did you do the custodian?
No, I didn't.
Okay, the custodian says NPP must regain champion of businesses status. That is Paul Afoko saying. Richard Ahiangba joins NPP first vice chair race. African citizens expect results, not empty speeches. This is attributed to Amu Dompre, who tells PAP. And then pause on tribunal bill and listen to Ghanaians. Mawuena to the president, John Dramani Mahama. The statesman this morning, don't sign tribunal's bill. Brema Sapon calls for honest dialogue in NPP if we just a dispute. Afoko, NPP must regain trust of business community. Coca pledges to reclaim lost Asante seats for NPP. Now there's some confusion. There are two caucus in the NPP. There's COKA and then there's KOKA. KOK is a Siedu. It was a pundit on a lot of the entertainment shows.
Oh, okay.
And
Coca.
And this Coca is also. Anyways, the Ghanaian Chronicle this morning, Bawumia to JM put the tribunal bill on ice. Gold Board exports 16.11 billion US dollar in gold over 7 months. NPP must rebuild trust of business community, Paul Afoko says. Attorney General admits lacking key evidence in 49.1 million Ghana cedi Eduba trial. The publisher, Bawumia's plea to Mahama, don't sign tribunal's bill. Gold Board ice record output buys 54 tons in 6 months. Annan also moves to strike out charges. Hearing fixed for today. Attorney General admits key evidence missing. Woo. Coca declares bid to succeed Woon to me and Ahiangba. ICE NPP Vice Chair slot. Ghanaian Times this morning. No third term agenda attributed to the president. And then High Court to determine Woon to me's fate today. Future of community banking depends on strong governance. Metroland says, don't sign tribunal's bill. Bawumia urges President Mahama. Talk less, deliver more, and not don't pray to Pan-African Parliament. Nanabi declares bid for NPP first vice chairman. And ex-Equiapim North MCE, ICE NPP Eastern Regional Secretary post. The Informer this morning says, come back home to face justice, Oforiatta told. Also on the front page, TUC, NPP oppose tribunal bill. Third term debate, Mahama disowns power-drunk elements and says constitution presents no ambiguity. Apenyo Marking questions NDC's commitment to accountability, and BOG vindicates Bawumia's gold strategy. And the Insight, managed by Kwesi Pratt, says Sam Jonas River Park Estate saga. Appeal urges President Mahama to intervene. Now, disregard false information against Adamos in its operational area. This is Salma Youth calling. NPP's Ifija Secretary crisis. Lawyer Brema Sapon calls for honest dialogue. Africa Today, woman remanded in custody over abduction of an 8-year-old baby at Mando Market. Okay. North Town chiefs and locals rally behind. Mahama impressed by Dapiamako's massive development drive in Saudai during his tour of the Volta region. Asiedu in Ketia signs book of condolence. And Ghana's cashew industry in crisis? That's a question that is being posed. Central Tongue NPP communicator congratulates delegates party faithfuls. And that's about it for the newspapers this morning.
Let's get you into the online portals as well. Do not assent to tribunal's bill. Hold national dialogue. Bawumia tells President Mahama. That's on 3news.com.
Right.
Spain defeats Argentina to win 2026 FIFA World Cup. Ablakwa commends ECOWAS for fully supporting Ghana's petition to AU against xenophobia. Central Region 2 reminded of a machete attack on Pragya rider in Diaso. Ex-NAFCO boss Hanan Abdul Wahab petitions AG over alleged harassment and torture. MyJoyOnline.com, at forcing to unveil government's new economic strategy in mid-year budget review. Spain battle past 10-man Argentina 1-0 in extra time to win World Cup. Mufta Nabila's report. Ghana needs stronger courts, not a parallel justice structure. Bawumia on tribunals bail. Minority demands foreign minister's briefing on Ghana-South Africa relations after Isaac's killing. Supreme Court chieftaincy exists for same enduring purpose. Chief Justice and T-bills. Government exceeds target by 73%. Interest rates decline. City Newsroom. Parliamentary majority is no license to pass every bill. That's according to the NPP flag bearer, Dr. Bawumia. GT Bank tops SME lending rates at 33.58. Treasury bill auction oversubscribed by 72.5%. Minority wants a Blackwell to brief Parliament on Ghanaian killed in South Africa. Ghana to host first AU Extraordinary Health Summit, and public tribunals not answer to congested courts. Bawumia. Ghana Web, 2026 FIFA World Cup. What Ghanaian prophet said versus what God delivered. You find that there. Go on and read for yourself. NDC branch organizer arrested over claims Bawumia slept. The rest of the story is not there. Won to me, Akwanta Mining seek judgment deferment in criminal case. Watch as Ghanaian migrants trek.
The ending would have been very interesting. As Atachia travels outside Ghana.
Right. Watch as Ghanaian migrants trek through Colombian mountains, and US-based Ghanaian man from Mamprobi found stranded in America. A host of other stories you find if you go to Ghana. But we're going to start off from the tribunals, right? Because a number of the papers, or where do you want to start from?
No, that is fine, but I think we're just exhausted. About this.
I'll do
you
the
can
president
go
on third term agenda, because that's been... No, I'll come to...
You can do the tribunal. I'll
come to the tribunals as well. But the president has been speaking. The story is by Julius Yaupetichi and Samuel Amewode in Ho. This is the president from his travels. And President John Dramani Mahama has reiterated his resolve to respect the presidential term limit provided for under the 4th Republican Constitution of Ghana. The president said he was aware 2 citizens have gone to the Supreme Court seeking interpretation of Article 66(1) and 2, which stipulates that a person elected as president shall hold office for a term of 4 years beginning from the date on which he is sworn in, and shall not be elected to hold office for more than 2 terms. Now, during a citizen engagement at Ho on Friday, on his 2-day resetting Ghana tour of the Volta region, President Mahama said his understanding of the provision was unambiguous. The people of Ghana gave me a mandate for 1 additional term, and I remain fully committed to fulfilling the promises I made to them. Although some people have sought an interpretation from the Supreme Court regarding the constitutional provision on presidential tenure, my understanding is that the Constitution is clear, the President stressed. What I know is that the people of Ghana entrusted me with 1 additional term, and I will continue to work diligently to honor the trust. I don't think there was a debate, or there's been a debate as to this presidential term thing, but for some strange reason we continue to have conversations about it every now and then. What have you made of it? And the president for the 3rd time debunking any suggestion that, look, I'm going to be gunning for a 3rd term.
Well, for me, it's not a matter of a 3rd term or a 4th term. It's not even a matter of 4 years or 5 years or 10 years. I think all those people who are clamoring for 5 years, 10 years, one-time service of the president is something that is mundane to me. For me, my key interest has to do with a national development plan that we do not have as a state.
Oh, we've had a number. If you say we do not have, I'm not sure that will be a fair reflection.
We don't have
of
a national
documents that exist.
We don't have
documents
a national
exist.
development. We don't have a national
perhaps
development plan.
Implementation is where you can decide to have a conversation. But the document exists.
that is you don't. So
if you say we don't have,
when I say we don't have,
for purposes of persons who are listening,
yeah.
I mean, there have been different plans. It's all about adoption and implementation.
So thank you. There have been what? Different plans. Different means you are not fixed on one. So you don't have it. It's like people saying that Africa is the richest continent. Africa is not the richest continent. You are only rich when you are able to utilize the things that you have. So don't say you are rich. You can't tell me as you're sitting right now that you're the best footballer. I've not seen you display it. So let us not say we have a national development plan. A national development plan is a plan that is integrated into the national psyche, one of the people, and then constitutionally mandated for us to work with. So if we say we have a national development plan, is it sitting on paper? Is it sitting in somebody's garage? Is it sitting in somebody's office and it's not been implemented? We do not have it. Those are the key things. Therefore, when somebody is elected as a president and the person is given a 4-year term, extends to 8 years, or people who are clamoring for 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, a straight jacket kind of thing, what it says is that what is the person going to do in office again? When you wake up in the morning, you have a direction. You know where you're going. You know you're heading to 3FM to come and host the morning show. That is your plan from Monday to Friday. You know you have a plan. From there, you move to the newsroom. If you have any assignments, you attend to it. You have any other things, you do it. But as a state, we don't know where we are headed. All we do is that right at the back of political parties calling it manifesto. And crazily enough, a lot of media houses run these politicians along the lines of manifesto. A manifesto promise is somebody's wishful thinking of what they believe the people should hear. Whether or not they're going to deliver that, it's up to nobody's rules or barometer measure to say that at the end of the year, you promised this. At the end of 6 months, you promised that. At the end of 8 years, you promised this. At the end of... No. I think Ghanaians should wise up and move away from manifestos, because that is somebody's personal promises. And the Constitution does not hold anybody responsible if they reneged on any delivery of the promises they so make within the manifesto. What a country needs is a development plan that speaks to where you are headed, short term, medium term, long term, and unforeseen periods in between. Why don't we have such a document that has been accepted by the state and then regularized such that every political party would direct their so-called manifesto, which is their plan of rulership and leadership, through that development plan? Do you know the number of roads that we need to construct in this country? Do we know it? Do we have any plan to say that by so and so year this has to be completed and this is the road map that we need to use? For me, that would make much more sense than just clamoring for a person to go another term or not to go another term. That is quite immaterial. That is up for the Supreme Court to interpret the articles so based in the Constitution. Article 66(2) is what they are referring to. Supreme Court would have to say something about that. But for me, that is not the matter I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about if President Mahama is given a third term, what are the expectations of the people? What is he supposed to work on? What is he supposed to work at to ensure that the people of this country enjoy? I tell you this every time. I find it difficult going home because the road network to my house is terrible. We have been crying for this since 1912 and it's not been done. People who live at Tema Community 25, who live at Gulf City, who live at Michelle Camp, who live at 26, and even Tema Proper, the road network is just evil. And you expect people to travel on these routes and then get to work and deliver. And you are saying that your own interest is whether somebody should have a third term or not. Well, I come back to the point that, look, a nation that hasn't got a national development plan is working amiss. Kwame Nkrumah, that is way back in the 50s, had this idea. And we, who are calling ourselves the millennials, and some call themselves the Gen Zs, what are we doing to ourselves? We are such a disgrace. Without a plan, you can't move. Go to any of the institutions, corporate institution, private institutions, go to the banks and find out if they don't have KPIs. When you're being employed, you have KPIs. The bank knows where they're supposed to be by a certain time. Who's supposed to do A, B, C, D, E?
There is Vision 2057.
Oh, Lord God, what happened to Vision 2020? You remember?
Right.
There was a Vision 2020.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
There's Vision 2057.
Yes.
So if you mention that there's no national development
We don't
plan,
have a national... Has it been adopted?
you can argue about adoption.
That
but
is... So what I'm saying is that...
it was put together
Yeah.
May 2024. It's supposed to guide development until
Oh, please.
2057 when the country turns 100.
Oh, please.
Right?
That is just a joke. And I say it clearly. That is me speaking, not you speaking. I hold no... Look, it is a big joke for anybody to tell me that they have drafted a certain document that says Vision 2057. Who is mandated to go by that vision? Don't just do one thing on the left side and make it parallel.
So the argument can be that we have the plan, but we have a challenge in terms of implementation, and it is not binding. We can have a conversation about that.
Do you have the food? If you say the ingredients are tomatoes, onions, pepper, this spice, that spice, ginger, and so on and so forth, do you have the food? You don't have the food. You are only conjecturing. You're only envisioning in your mind what it is that you can use to prepare a certain stew or a certain soup. I am saying that whoever the chef is the chef mandated to use all those ingredients that you have so spoken about, just so the food is going to turn out good. Because science indicates that without a plan, you end up in a ditch. So if we are saying that we have a plan that says National Development Plan, a group of people are sitting there, smart, erudite people, they are sitting there somewhere. But my issue is that they are working parallel to the, political strategy that political parties have to rule this country. So National Development Plan is on the left, political parties are on the right. The Constitution is in the middle. That is not mandating anybody.
But if you go to what's this aspect?
Check chapter 6 of the Constitution and you see what I'm talking about. There are directive principles of state policy in there. And within that, it tells everybody must benefit from health, from finance, from work, from this. All those things are there to how to ensure that people are employed gainfully.
You see, the challenge is that it is there captured in the Constitution directly. Yes. The persons who are supposed to implement it are the ones in authority. They are the ones who can take you on for not doing so, and they are not taking themselves.
And they are paying no mind to what we so call the National Development Commission.
Anyways, quickly, let me remind you that you can share your thoughts with us as well this morning. 053 220 0927 053 220 0927. A number of you say I should take the number slowly.
Yes, please.
053 220 0927. That's the number. 053 220 0927. Let us know what you think. This entire debate. I mean, the third term has been debunked, but at the heart of it, in terms of what it is that we understand.
That is what the president is saying.
There will be no third term from him.
Yeah, that is no.
At least he's not interested.
No, what he says is that he's focusing on the mandate.
Is very clear. So he's focused on.
He's focusing on the mandate that has been given, the one-term mandate. But if Jackma was speaking to a matter like that to a professor
over the weekend.
Yes, exactly.
I mean,
and their claim is that they are still pushing.
Those are opinions, right?
Yes,
if the man in question is not interested, I don't know what your push would result in fairness.
Well, did he say he's not interested in running for a third term?
He says he was given his final mandate, and he's
focusing on that.
Yes, he's going to honor it, and to him, the Constitution is clear. There is no ambiguity as to what the constitutional provision
whether it's consecutive or
he says it's clear, and it's just 2 terms. Yes, he's on his last term, and that's it. That's what the president said.
So fine.
So
I'm happy with that.
Whoever is pushing, respectfully, you are pushing something that cannot be moved.
No, you may not conclude on that because it's up to the Supreme Court's interpretation of what it means. That should it be consecutive or it should just be two
There are
terms?
those who say that, I mean, the Supreme Court should not even entertain this
Yes.
because it's as clear as day, right? So there is no need for a conversation.
Unless you make an amendment. But the point is that, for me, that is besides the point. So sometimes politicians, like I said, those in political office, they throw us away on the key matters that we need to discuss. You're spending much time, spending money, public funds, so to speak, or some private funds, going to the courts to seek a third term for a president who says, I am not interested in it. Mine is focus on what is going to lead your people out of the doldrums. That is the key thing. Focus on what is going to lead your people out of the doldrums. And I keep saying that road network in any country means development for that country. A country that is not focusing on its road network development would never develop. Let's forget macroeconomic stability, microeconomic stability, performance.
Yeah, those ones are important.
And banks, they are not.
Important.
My brother, they are not. How many times haven't we heard banks posting profits?
No,
how many times haven't we heard?
I'm not speaking to.
No. I'm coming to that.
Right?
I'm coming to that. Oh, but all those things, they by extension, they support the macroeconomic stability of the country. And I'm saying that how many times haven't we heard companies posting profits? How many times haven't we heard Bank of Ghana increasing or decreasing rates? How many times haven't we heard this production going on and so forth? My point is, let us not be fooled or bamboozled into thinking that all these things, when they are being presented in the news items, are things we have to go home with. I am looking at the fact that we are exposed, we travel, we've been outside, we have lived there, we have worked there. You get it? We pay visits to those places. Yet we come back. All those who went to the World Cup in the US, have they told you their stories about infrastructural development? Those who go to Doha, have they told you their experience? Those who go to Dubai, have they told you their experience? They have not. I walked into a car park in Dubai and I thought it was neater than my bedroom. Because the people are clean and neat. Have you been to Indonesia? My point is that, look, without the development of road infrastructure or road network in any country, you are not developed. Road network plays a very key role. And let me explain what it means. If your country is opened up because you have quality road network and durable road network and proper spatial planning, what it means is that companies can afford to now open in different regions and different communities so that they are not all stationed at the regional capitals or somewhere even beyond the regional capital where nobody can go and they can't employ other people. People have acquired parcels of land, huge ones, at faraway places. They would want to develop it because perhaps they have a development partners coming from outside. They can't develop it because the road network to that place is so terrible. Can you imagine if the roads were fixed? Anybody can develop anywhere, and it is not even your responsibility as a government or a ruling government to go and develop these places for the people. The people will build their own schools, build their own clinics, build their own hospitals, build their own other businesses. And it opens up the country and makes the country look clean. More investment will be coming in because people can now expand and build appropriately. Now, if a company says that, oops, we're to drive and go to maybe Afienya and go and check on our company there to find out how they are doing, somebody will say you can stay in traffic for 8 hours, 4 in, 4 out. What would you have achieved? So better, let us station it at this point, put it at maybe Tema Community 25, so that we can just quickly go in there and rush back. What happens to all those who are from 26 beyond, those from Pram beyond? What do they benefit? So forgive me. So my point is very simple. If it is that we are running a country and we don't develop the road infrastructure, we are just joking. We are just joking. It slows everything. Traffic on the way. Now, output of work. You expect people to get to work at a certain time, right? If they don't show up, what do? You punish them. Now, they show up in the morning. How do they commute? On what roads, in what cars? The transport system is poor. It is porous. You get it? So these are the key things that we need to focus on. I'm not directing everybody's mind as to what they have to say. Don't be in line with me, but I'm saying these are the more cogent things that we need to focus on rather than talking about third term and so on and so forth. Focus on development. The contractors that you've given monies to, who haven't moved to site, what are you doing to them? Those you have given contracts to, who are now owning private jets, you've given contracts to them, they have not delivered, they have done shoddy work, and we don't bring them to book. I say you're talking about 30.
Right.
Fixed roads. When you fix roads in any country, development would progress. The same when they're going to acquire land somewhere, they tell you, oh, the road is under construction. The moment the road is fixed, the property rates would shoot up. Don't you hear that anytime? So that means road network gives value to development.
We can talk about roads coming and property rate shooting up, but I'm going to take you to the courts because there are a number of developments from there. One to me being one of them. He is set to have his fate determined today. That is if the court does not defer the ruling. But there's a quick message that's coming through from Kwame Dako in Koforidia, says that he totally agrees with you. Ghana has no development plan per what is going on. And so that's Kwame Dako as well, sending a message from there. You can do same as well and send us a message 053 220-0927. 053-220-0927. Those are the WhatsApp numbers through which you can send a message as well to us here.
Sorry to ambush you
on the show.
But you're talking about there are so many matters happening in the courts. Last week we were here on this platform, and you made reference to courts that were dilapidated, right?
Yeah.
Great. So we're going to focus on matters in dilapidated courts. If we had a proper national development plan, do you think the focus would not be to ensure that judges sit in courts that are conducive for fair and proper judgment? If you are sitting in your chambers and you realize that it was leaking and you have to pack books somewhere, or you pack a lot of sheets somewhere, or record somewhere, how are you going to get a presence of mind to pass judgment? So for me, the national development conversation ought to be made national. That is where we have to focus our minds on, not the passing of a tribunal's bill that can be contested.
But you were in support of it.
Yes, I'm saying that the focus. Somebody has proposed that let us have a tribunals. What's the name? Tribunals to deal with matters of concern, like so for galamsey, for tax evasion, for corruption, and so on. Just like the fast track high court, they want something like that. Leave it at that. It doesn't mean that any judgment that is passed in the tribunal cannot go to the court of appeal. So long as there is a way out, let us leave it hanging. Let us rather focus on a national conversation that is going to affect everybody, so that places that have been earmarked for farms are not encroached on and built cement and block and bricks and stone and mortar. Let us not do that. Water bodies that are supposed to serve the ecosystem of this country, we go and fill it with sand and debris and sometimes wastes, just to ensure that somebody puts up a structure. And not that we are wise about the structures that we put up. We are doing flat houses, 2-bedroom semi-detached, 3-bedroom semi-detached. What kind of crap is that? Instead of going high, the same countries that we talk about Netherlands and so on.
I always say that what we go through here is an interwoven hydra-headed kind of problem, right?
I love that.
One challenge connects to another,
right?
And it connects to another, and it connects to another, and it connects to another, and so more often than not, you realize that there are problems in every sector that you look at, and you want to pay attention to closely. But nonetheless, we will make progress, right? And so a number of court cases this week. First one, wound to me, because the court is set to deliver judgment today in this criminal trial in the Samre Boy mining case.
Oh, okay.
He's pleaded not guilty to the charges. The trial has gone the full haul. The judgment was to have been delivered on the third of this month, but because of closing addresses, written addresses, it was postponed to today, the 20th. But even ahead of the judgment, counsel for the accused, Samuel Atachia, filed a motion on July 16 seeking a postponement of the judgment and a referral of the case to the Supreme Court for interpretation of provisions of the Minerals and Mining Act. Mr. Atatia argued that Section 14(1) of the Minerals and Mining Act, under which his client is being prosecuted, is vague, overbroad, and inconsistent with the fair trial guarantees under Article 1911 of the 1992 Constitution. He prayed the court to refer the constitutional question to the Supreme Court, and if the request is declined, to acquit and discharge his client. The Attorney General charged Mr. Boesiaku, a shareholder of Akonta Mining, with Kwame Entry, a director of the company currently at large. During the trial, the prosecution called 4 witnesses. One of them, Henry Okum, a small-scale miner, testified that he had a verbal agreement with Mr. Entry Boesiaku to mine on the concession. At the close of the prosecution's case, the court held that a prima facie case had been established against Mr. Boesiaku and ordered him to open his defense after dismissing his submission of no case. Well, we understand this morning that lawyers of Mr. Boesiaku are asking the courts to defer its judgment today because Atachia is out of the jurisdiction and cannot move his motion to have the case referred to the Supreme Court for constitutional interpretation. It's one of the many which has got a lot of people talking and asking questions as to what really is happening in the trial. But we know as well that there's the Edubuahi case. I'll come to you on that one to me briefly. There's the Edubuahi case where the state is also expecting to close their case this week against him. So let me come to you on the two, and then I can do Dr. Baumi on public tribunals.
Okay, so let me deal with the Wontumi case. That is where I keep saying that we dawdle around a lot of things. And the more we joke, the more heinous it becomes for us as a state to develop and to grow and to show a mark of excellence in people in whom trust has been reposed. Like you said, Article 66(2) of the 1992 Constitution clearly states that no president shall exceed a 2-term office. That is all. It starts it just blank, straight off like that. So you are wondering why people are going to court seeking for interpretation and so on and so forth. That is what I'm saying. What is it about our mining laws in this country which stipulates that you can't mine in the forests unless, of course, what happened, the executive secretary to the president or the presidency was now in charge of giving people the opportunity or otherwise to mine in such areas. Now, it has been proven to us, Erastus Asaridonko has proven to us with so many videos that the kind of things Wontumi did in our rainforests was so terrible. People would say that, yes, we need the rule of law because the law brings what? Evidence. Without evidence, you can't judge anybody. But here we are, we have the evidence sitting right in front of us. Even if it's not sitting right in front of us, we have seen, we have experienced, and we have heard from the way that he himself, Nchibo Isiakun, otherwise known as Chairman Wontumi, he himself has been boasting about the fact that nobody can stop him from doing certain things. He's boasted around with gold and all that kind of thing. So somebody would say, you may not be able to pass judgment on him for boasting about no one being able to stop him from mining from anywhere that he wants to. That means there is a little hint of irresponsibility in the way he was mining. If it is so, why is Atachia running away, traveling out of the jurisdiction just to delay the judgment on the man? Look, if we don't punish people for wrongdoing, there is no need for us to sit on air. I would rather talk about Lionel Messi, talk about football, talk about wrestling. I love WrestleMania. I love wrestling. Let's talk about those ones and forget about this. The point is, if somebody has flouted the regulation, let the person face the rigors of the law. I don't know why we are scampering around, moving. We don't know whether to pass a judgment today or tomorrow. This person calling the shots for so and no. We are getting tired. Until we start punishing people for wrongs that they have done. When we put people in public office, they will not be erudite in the way that they do. They will not be disciplined in things that they do. We need discipline. We need decorum. We need people to work and ensure that they leave a legacy that will be an example for generations that are coming after them. For me, I can't pass judgment on Wontumi because I am not the law court. I am not the judge. I have not read it case by case. But on the face of what we have all seen, the videos that have been captured based on where his Akunta mining and other mining concessions that he has, based on what he has even said personally by boasting and talking about so many things, the man is, for me, I'm not saying, the man is so guilty.
No, I'm not.
No, listen to my preamble.
I'm not.
No,
I mean, you're wanting to proceed on a fair comments tangent.
Yes. That is my preamble is that I'm not the court, I'm not the judge, and I'm not basing it on the facts that are before.
But saying someone is guilty.
Who offers a bribe and is able to prove it when you arrest them? I mean, there are certain things that nobody can prove. You tell the person to prove that ABC and it happened. My point is that based on what he has said himself, Wontumi, boasting about the fact that nobody can stop him from doing what he's doing. He has shown gold nuggets.
But you have to prove.
Yes, he has shown. That's what I'm saying, that based on what he has shown and said privately or publicly, not based on what is before the law courts, not based on what is before the judge, not what his lawyers have gone or the prosecution has placed before the. No, I am talking about what he has said and the videos we have seen of where he was mining at, which has been secluded and restricted from him mining, and he is doing it. So he has just flouted a regulation. Why don't we punish him for that? Because he is wearing the cloak of a political party. That is where the fear is. So my advice to every Ghanaian is that walk into a political party, sign up, wear their jersey, go on radio, go on television.
Now you'll be reducing the country to a banana republic.
Thank you. That is what we are doing with the Wontumi case.
What I'm going to say is that,
yes,
I mean, everybody has a right.
Absolutely.
Saw this case travel, and at some point when judgment was to be delivered, counsel was changed for Wontumi, which was well within their rights.
Absolutely.
And it was changed when the final written addresses were supposed to have been delivered before the court. And I mean, I've asked for sound opinion as to whether that is important in arriving at a decision by the judge. And at least from a conversation with a few lawyers, they tell me that you don't need written address for the judge to draw a conclusion on a matter. And so the judge can actually deliver judgment without written addresses, because they would have taken notes during the entire trial.
And later present
they will provide their sound reasoning as to why they've decided on a particular tangent. And so a written address is not, all in all, the most important to arrive at a decision.
What is with these delays?
But the judge has been fair in granting these requests for extensions and all of that. What this does, right, the continuous delays, is it feeds into, I won't call it a perception now, it feeds into what is reality, that the high and mighty in society can have their way. Whereas the poor cannot. I mean, when I say half their way, I don't sit here to suggest that Wontumi is guilty.
No. Okay.
Or they are going to be paying their way through whatever. No. That doesn't come up for a conversation. What I'm saying is, will it have been the same for you and I facing trial over such charges? Would it have been the same? No, certainly would have not. We would not have gotten the long room, would not have been afforded this much time, well, maybe you can argue it's because you don't have money, right? You don't have money to be filing all of the many processes in court and what have you. But in terms of public perception and what have you, and again, I keep saying that the judge could come up and will return a not guilty verdict. How about that?
So for me, that would be even be.
How about that? The judge can actually return with a not guilty verdict.
I'll be extremely happy if a non guilty verdict was.
If they were to return today,
I'll take a trip.
All I'm saying is, in the eyes of the public, this appears to be unnecessary and overly winding. All attempts to delay the process.
Right.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
But again, that decision today rests solely with the judge.
Absolutely.
Whether or not he grants the request, because the lawyers of Wontumi now are not in the country. So does a judge proceed to say, there's no debate about that.
What would be the essence of the presence? I'm yet to be educated on that. What would be the essence of the presence of the attorney who is standing in for Wontumi, or representing Wontumi for that matter, for the judge
to be present?
What is the essence? If the judge is going to read, because when he reads the judgment,
there's a likelihood someone could allege bias.
What do you mean by bias? You have closed your case. The case is your all your submissions and everything is done. Now it is up to the judge to pass judgment on the matter. So he comes to read it out. Wherever you are, you can get copies of it immediately. He can get copies of it immediately. When he comes back, he can just come and do his appeal if he so wishes.
If you say his appeal, it means you are suggesting.
No, that's what I'm saying. You see, well, anyways, somebody will say that sometimes there are certain things you don't have to be just so.
Yeah. So
my point is, wrong is wrong.
It leaves.
Wrong is wrong, because what it does is that it's going to invigorate people in case the case doesn't go the way a lot of Ghanaians are expecting it to go, based on the boastful attitude of the gentleman in question, and based on the distraction that we have seen. A lot of us are joking. You think that you're sitting in Accra and you're cool, and whatever the distraction they are causing in the rainforest is not going to affect you. The river bodies and so on. You think you are sitting in Accra, so it's not going to affect you. That is a big joke. A lot of the rivers in Ghana are connected. They are interconnected. And number one, the kind of chemicals they use are not dissolvable, and you can't take them out of the water. If you want to do so, it's going to be highly, highly, highly expensive. We haven't done that. Right. Some seep through our vegetables and fruits that we eat. And you think that what? Have you been to Samre Boy? Travel there and see whether the boys drink water from the town. They import water. They import water. So people working in La Côte d'Ivoire, people even carry water from Accra to that place to sell, because they think it's purified. They don't drink the water. So all those who are consuming alcoholic beverages and so on, thinking that, oh, that water is safe and all that, you are a big liar and a big joke.
As for the water in these,
the vegetables regions, you eat,
the
fruits you eat,
it's questionable. And there's been reports and researches which have discovered all of these.
Absolutely. So why are we thinking that anybody who is trying to harm you should be left off the hook because the person wears a certain cloak?
Quick message to douse the flame a bit. In fact, it says systems are not working in Ghana. Look at this Wontumi case. Should the tribunal be in place, will this happen? Cases stay in court for over 10 years and finally the culprits are freed on some excuses from the country. From some excuses, then the country becomes the loser. Kwame Dako and Koforidua is saying this. This one doesn't give a name. It says, I'm happy someone is speaking my mind this morning. The problem is Ghanaians are not ready for long-term planning. We want quick solutions for every problem. Will Ghanaians be patient for the Vision 2057 when politicians decide to go that line? Well, think they will. I always argue that when you see progress, work is being done, you can be patient to see it done. And I've been through that, right? Where a road was being constructed, and it came with inconvenience. But because I knew in the end results was going to be pleasant, I stomached the inconvenience until it was ready. The road was ready for use. So if and that's the big if the 20 agenda 2057 were on, because for now it doesn't look like it's on. By all means, Ghanaians will be patient. You just carry everybody along, and that will make a bit more in terms of sense, right? But on the public tribunals, which Kwame Daku's sending us a message from Koforidua speaks to, the NPP flag bearer says that the president should not assent to the bill and that there should be a national dialogue before we decide to make progress in that regard. And I heard you last week as well on this particular tangent,
Yes.
but I mean, it looks like more and more opinions are coming forth. More and more opinions suggest that this might not be a great idea at this time. Pause, reflect, have a conversation before we proceed.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I'd like to say good morning to Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and I pray he's listening to me this morning. So, what are the tribunals that are going to be set up? What are they supposed to be taking care of? What are they supposed to be curing? What results are they supposed to be grinding, as you guys say in football parlance? It is to ensure that people don't evade tax. People are not corrupt. People don't mine in waters and forests that they are not mandated to. They are not given the license to mine in those areas. So, is Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, I've not heard the TUC, but it has been said that the TUC said, are they telling us that they can just walk to the office of GT Bank and go and take a staff from there and put the person at the tribunals and say you are mining in waters that you were not supposed to, or you have evaded tax, or you are a corrupt official? It doesn't make sense. What are we running away from? That is a simple question I am asking. I am not passing judgment on anybody, but my point is that if at the end of the tunnel we know that there is a fast-track court, or so to speak, a tribunal that is supposed to deal with excesses of people who have been given positions of authority, and they are supposed to be diligent in those things and to have integrity and deliver such integrity, and they don't deliver it, why should I be here crying that such an office ought not be set up? Is Dr. Mahmoud Baumia saying that we shouldn't deal with corruption? Is he saying that when people evade tax, we shouldn't deal with them? Is he claiming that the galamsey, the illegal mining that is going on, is something that Ghanaians should be happy about? I think we should stop all these things when we are looking for an opportunity to be seen as we are contributing to national dialogue. This is not contributing to national dialogue. What if we do the converse? What if Baumia tells his people that, look, if you have been corrupt in the past, show up right now and deliver yourself? Or correct the mistakes that you're doing. Or an advice to those in office today that when you're giving political office, it doesn't mean that you have the power to do anything and everything, because one day you're going to face the tribunal. It's not got to do with administrative ineptitude, where you would say that it was a mistake that I committed. At the time of signing the document, I didn't see this I, or I didn't see this zero, so you'll be pardoned. But these are deliberate acts of corruption, where contracts are given to people, they deliver half-heartedly, and they make away with a lot or the rest of the monies. The reason you and I are crying that we don't have any waste, plants. We are crying that the roads are poor. We are crying that people are moving in bread vans to offices. We are crying that there's so much dust We are crying that there's so much mud when it rains. We are crying that we don't have places to lay our heads because it is quite expensive for you to live. People are crying that they don't have jobs. And we are saying that there has been reports indicating that when it comes to corruption, the amount of money we spend on corruption is far more than the budget that we spend in the country. So if people are being corrupt and we are saying that we are establishing an office to deal with these acts of corruption, you are saying that let us slow down on it. What about the other courts? It's not only the courts. Then stop Shraj, stop Iyoku, stop the office of the special prosecutor, because they are all doing the same thing. This one is just putting a cap on it to say that, look, a lot of cases are going to the courts, and the courts are befuddled with all these things. Let us carry them out, take the load off some of the judges, and put them in tribunals. What is wrong with that if you are not corrupt? What is wrong with that if you have not evaded tax? What is wrong with that if you are not mining illegally? For me, that is what beats my mind. Why would somebody be thinking that is going to be political persecution? Why would somebody think so? That is going to be used for political persecution. Why? Do you think that the position that you were giving to work as a public official, you did one or two things that you were not supposed to do, and you're very much aware of it, that is going to come out? If you haven't done anything wrong, there can people will say, oh, song, leave it, let it hang. Let it hang. It's not going to be for political witch hunting. No. If it is, you can go to the law courts to defend the reason that particular tribunal's office is not supposed to exist.
What I'm interested in is what the opinion of the Chief Justice is in relation to the tribunal, because you play a very central role as and when it is assented to by the president. He will make the appointments, not as chair, but I mean he will sit on the bench of the tribunal in terms of the chairmanship and all of that.
Great.
Whether this aids in terms of the work that is being done in justice delivery is another question.
My brother,
because
you read you read the qualifications of those who are supposed to be sitting in these tribunals. If you would recall, persons
who are supposed to be qualified to sit on the high court.
Thank you.
Amongst others.
Thank you. So that's a high court judge. And then persons who are qualified, they have the expertise, who have the skill in whatever discussion or whatever matter goes before them. Wouldn't you be extra happy to have a high court judge and a professional who understands what you do in terms of accounting if it comes to maybe tax evasion, and you're able to prove to that accountant that we had to deal with A, B, C, D, that is the reason we arrived at 1.2 million. And the accountant will understand and explain to the judge that, oh, it is not an anomaly, but it is because so and so in accounting, some of these things happen. Wouldn't you be happy? Wouldn't you be excited? If it's got to do with construction, and we're talking about constructing 6 inches of road, and somebody goes to do 7 inches, or does 2 inches, and it is explained that, oh, because of the thickness or the quality of the land there, we needed not to do 6 inches. So it was just right for us to do 2 inches or 4 inches. That is a technical mind speaking for the judge to have his fairness of mind to pass judgment on what this expert has said. So the tribunal is going to be occupied by experts and people who are qualified to be high court judges. And a high court judge is a superior court judge. So what is our apprehension when it comes to the tribunals being set up? It is not that we are claiming we're going to put Sedun Ketia, Sami Jemfi, and other party folk there for the tribunal to work. No, it's not going to be a partisan thing. It's not going to be. So what is the fear? What is the fear? We have commissions of inquiry, and you see, the tribunal is just mimicking the commissions of inquiry that we have in this country, where we put somebody of high repute and then people with expertise in the field.
So the president, in terms of appointments, the president is going to appoint the chairman.
Great.
The chairperson
Yes.
of both the regional and then the district tribunals, whereas the Chief Justice will appoint the panel members.
Great.
Right, the panel members on the tribunal. I'm just reading that as well for a bit more in terms of education as well. On the show. And so appointments, the president shall, acting on the advice of the Judicial Council, appoint A, the chairman of a regional tribunal, and B, the chairman of a district
the president acting on what?
On the advice of the Judicial Council.
Judicial Council. So are we saying the Judicial Council is bereft of technical mindedness? Is that what we are saying? The Judicial Council. So if we say that we don't agree with these things, then that means we are punching holes into the credibility.
Then the Chief Justice shall, acting in consultation with the Regional Coordinating Council for a region, and on the advice of the Judicial Council, appoints the panel members of a regional tribunal. The Chief Justice shall, acting on the advice of the Judicial Council and in consultation with the relevant district assembly, appoints the members of a district tribunal as well. And so, yes, obviously we've spoken to the composition of both the district and then the regional tribunal, which we mentioned from last week as well. Sir. And so, yeah, but that is where we are in terms of the conversations here. There'll be a bit more if you stay with us here on the show. For now, we're going to ready ourselves for sports, and then we'll get a bit more in terms of the conversations as well for you here on the show. But let us know what you think. 053-220-0927. 053-220-0927 is the means by which you can share your thoughts with us here
on WhatsApp.
That's on WhatsApp on the show, and then we'll share that with the rest of the world. Let me see if I can immediately get onto Facebook as well and do a bit more in terms of messages. A number of you as well share your thoughts with us there this morning. Someone says the road to your house is really getting to you because you speak to it, you speak about it every day.
Yes.
Paulina says that the tribunal bill is essential for us to be able to jail the thieves. We need accountability. People must pay for their sins. Derek Ayeti says, good morning to you as well, Derek. And Paulina returns with a bit in terms of commentary about the wound to me trial. Please finish the case and let us move on. There are too many to be dealt with, she says. And so, yes, those are the quick messages which have come through. We'll go for this quick one, and then after which we get into sports for you here on the 3FM Sunrise.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure. Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up!
Come into the mountains. Sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite songs, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names. Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego. We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
All right, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button. And we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire! More fire! My name Black Rasta. Alright, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button. And we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire! More fire! My name Black Rasta. Alright, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button. And we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire! More fire! My name Black Rasta. Alright, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize. My name Black Rasta. Alright, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button. And we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire! More fire! My name Black Rasta.
In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest heads. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. Mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback. It's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest heads. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. Mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback. It's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites.
But he's here nonetheless. Bill, let's talk sports. You're excited, I know that for a fact. But talk to us as to the World Cup and all that you've made of it.
Wow, I like the way you have
Spain
changed the
won.
question. Wait,
And that's why it
no,
ends.
Mawuena. For the next 2-3 minutes, please. You are off mic. Keep quiet.
New
Hey,
is
me
controlling
patron,
the fader.
keep quiet. We gave you the respect the last
Okay,
time.
I'm listening to
Thank you.
I'm listening to you.
So, since you are saying generally what I made of the World Cup, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the fact that your goat decided to try and scam us with 0 shots on target in 120 minutes of football and expected to win the World Cup. What kind of disgrace is that? What kind of disgrace is that? 120 minutes of football. See, Arsenal play haram. Arsenal never do this kind of haram. 120 minutes of football. Not 90. Not 105. 120.
You should join him
See,
so that the microphone
see.
No, I'm saying this doesn't. You know, always I tell you that just come and sit and then let me turn on the microphone as well so that people can hear you. But if you are doing.
This Argentina actually thought that they will go to the final, play 0 shots on target, hope to go to penalties and win. Hey. Wow. What a fake goat. See,
Phil, come
see.
in.
My My goat will never do this.
The microphone, yeah.
My goat will never do this.
You can use them.
Actually, your goat is Sokoto red.
Charlie,
We can
no,
find
what
that.
the, what the fraudulent
I
goat?
want when you are doing the agenda, speak into the microphone so that people can hear you. Don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm a backing vocalist, so it's normal.
Join. Thank you.
I've always advocated for that.
Oh, okay. Nice one.
Your
Nice
goat
one.
turned to a rat running about like
Charlie-
chasing something.
Charlie, we finished the match. He didn't cry. The crying wasn't because.
Hold
he
on,
lost.
you know
The
initially,
crying was because he was trying to scam us.
Bill.
And he realized the scamming wasn't working.
initially he sat down and he felt like, oh, and yes, I've taken it before.
But
The moment they gave the cup to Spain, then the thing hit him.
Charlie, starts. No, who say
But I gave me home.
Is it the world's greatest that are desecrating like that?
Oh, we will desecrate him because we've not seen a we've honestly not seen a final that has gone 120 minutes with one opposition playing 0 shots on target.
Yes.
It's unprecedented. It's an absolute disgrace. Let's not mince words. No, it's a disgrace.
But I think Messi played a ball towards
So I
goal.
think it was blocked. So
No. He played one.
It was a cross.
He chipped us across. That's why it's over there.
No,
Wasn't
it's a
not
cross.
targeting the goal.
It was a cross.
It was
cross.
blocked. So it didn't amount.
No,
to
he's
a shot
referring
on
to the
target.
one that
He
went
crossed,
over
yes, he
Unai
chipped
Simon
it.
and then
He chipped it.
onto the net
No,
above.
I'm talking about what hit Moreno in the face.
Yeah, that's a block. So it's not. It doesn't count.
So it doesn't count.
It
as-
doesn't
But
count.
is it the world's best player they're talking?
Oh no, I'm
at
actually
like that?
acceding. I've allowed them. How many minutes did you say?
Oh no! So now let's talk about the World Cup.
You
in
wanted
general.
3 minutes. So
Yeah.
I've
Oh
given
yeah.
it to you.
Oh, thank you.
And,
Shake man. You
and
done
that's-
very well.
that's in
But
fairness.
anyways, when it comes to the World Cup in general, I think it's been fantastic in many ways, right? More teams, more surprises, more goals, more action,
Right.
virtually. Maybe some people didn't like the hydration break, but I think it helped the teams in the end because of the weather conditions and all of that. I mean, they would definitely agree that in some games the temperatures were very, very high, and then they needed, to cool off a bit. So that came. Of course, FIFA used it as a means to gain money.
I mean, a bit more in terms of marketing as well.
Yeah, which people would naturally like. And I like the fact that when the report started swelling that the halftime show at the World Cup final was going to be like 20 plus minutes, people kicked against it because it was going against FIFA rules, and in the end FIFA had to concede and make sure that it was around 11 minutes so that the players can come on and then play the second half. I like that principle was not changed. I think overall it's been a very great World Cup. Very interesting that Donald Trump decided to stand there still while Spain were lifting the
He
trophy.
did that during the Club World Cup
yes.
final. So
yes.
it suggests he doesn't move away when the team is lifting the trophy. He will stay there and be a part of it.
Yes,
so, yeah.
he wants his face to be in the pictures. It's very interesting. But overall, it's been a good World Cup experience. Definitely expensive in the sense for fans, journalists, everyone alike. But of course, also I was very impressed with the way the stadiums were filled. I didn't expect stadiums to be filled the way they were constantly during the World Cup, but we saw that constantly being filled. And so, I mean, if the football is good, if the occasion is good, you see fans turn up, and we saw fans turn up. So overall, I think a very great World Cup experience. I hope 2030 will be better because that's between...
That's three countries as well.
countries.
Spain, Portugal, Morocco.
Yeah, and they are
they'll be hosting that World Cup.
neighbors.
as well.
Insane.
And they are neighbors, yeah.
they're all
winning it and hosting it.
They're all neighbors.
Yeah. I'm so glad that Spain won it. Yes. It seems...
Who's been your best player of the tournament so far?
To be honest, I would have given it to Messi. When I saw Rodri, I understood but was surprised. I understood because usually
The team that wins
usually puts their best player forward. But if I'm being very honest, I feel Messi deserved it more. And I feel the closest second would have been Kylian Mbappe. Rodri should have been third in the ranking.
What country does he play for, Rodri?
Oh,
Spain.
Okay, so that's good. So that's fine.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying I understand that Rodri was given that award because, to be honest, he was the main architect of Spain's national team, most passes completed, and all of that. he was literally the forward when it comes to the possession-based game that they were playing. Very understandable. But if, in all honesty, I would have expected Messi to win it. If not Messi, I would have expected Kylian to win it. So, but since they've given it to Rodri, hey, fair is fair. And Spain dominated when it came to the awards like the Golden Glove.
Yeah, Unai Simon. I mean, I don't think there'll be much of a debate as to him winning.
Yeah, there wasn't a debate with that. Yeah. And there wasn't much debate with the best young player as well, Pau Kubasi.
Kubasi deserved that.
I remember right before the final on TV3 when we were building up to the game, I highlighted how important Kubasi was to that Spanish
19,
national.
Huh?
Just 19.
And he was a starting centre back for the Spanish national team. He'll be playing for a very long time.
Yeah, he will.
A very, very long time for that Spanish team. Overperforming team, a team that overperformed.
No way. Dark horses. I think they acted as the dark horses.
Underperforming?
Some options. There are some options. I think Japan is one for me because of the kind of reputation they built as a team that
I'm surprised you didn't say Portugal.
Oh, I mean...
Underperforming.
No, in the sense of the quality they had and where you expected to go, yes.
Greatly.
But
I mean, Japan, the best they've ever done is a round of 16.
But usually you
outside of hosting, they hosted in 2002, right? Outside of 2002, where they really performed, they've always been a round of 16 tournament, and so you cannot argue underperforming.
But
Portugal
underperformed.
No, but Mawuena, let's be honest. Portugal after 2006 World Cup have barely gotten past the quarterfinal.
we went into this tournament
thinking that they could win because of the quality that they had. But based on the history,
because they didn't do well in the group stages.
Yes. But based on the history, you'd also accept that Portugal are not your...
So you give underperforming to Japan instead of Portugal because a number of teams.
Netherlands is one as well.
Germany as well.
Germany is also one.
Germany got booted out in the round of 32.
Yeah, that was very early. So I think
Portugal in round of 16, right?
Yeah,
they got beat by
Spain.
By Spain.
Yeah,
in the round of 16.
Yeah.
So, but one of the underperforming teams at this tournament, most certainly. So Portugal, Germany, you include Japan.
Yeah, I include Japan.
Player that has. I don't think out and out there's been like an out and out star, really like an unknown player that became
Vozinha. Do you know that legends now play football with him? He was literally invited to a Legends football game, and the likes of R9 came straight to him to actually chat with him. He's
become an out star, Vozinha. But at 40 years. It's a bit tough that you see the football. Goalkeepers can go on a little longer than outfield players, and so so perhaps Vozinha. You can say a player who's underperformed.
Sadio Mane.
Underperforming players.
Sadio Mane, he's number one. Sadio Mane, I expected so much from him, but he produced.
He played as though he had issues with the coach.
Yeah, he produced literally.
On the technical team, he played as though he had.
I expected so much from Sadio.
So you give it to Sadio Mane. What about Ronaldo?
Oh, Ronaldo at least scored goals. He at least scored goals.
Mane got a goal, did he not?
No,
Mane.
One goal.
Mane.
That was last group game, I believe. That should have been last group game.
Either he got a goal or
I
he got a few
assists.
assists.
Let me.
Right.
But technical. But why are we surprised?
Because I know
that
the
Japan,
first 2 games he didn't score. He wasn't part of the goal scorers.
Why are we surprised at Japan? Japan is ranked 30th in the whole world.
No, but
that's why I don't see them as a team that underperform because they never really do anything. In fairness to them.
Okay, so also in fairness to them, they are usually a team that gets to the knockout round.
Yeah, and they did.
And they
got beat by which team?
I don't think they even got there.
No, they were in a knockout phase. Japan actually, yes. I think they got beat by Brazil.
Okay, round of 16.
You get beat by Brazil.
Usually round of 16 is where they stop.
Yeah, but I mean this one because
Mane did not score in the World Cup.
Yeah, he did not score, but he got a number of assists.
You see,
how many?
Which assist?
You're talking assist.
Which assist?
No, he didn't score. He didn't assist either.
Which assist?
Right. So yeah, maybe you can.
It's not maybe. He's the most disappointing player in this World Cup. No doubt about it.
Of all the players, Sadio Mane.
Oh, of course, because I expected so. I mean, in fairness, right? I'm saying this because of what I saw at the AFCON and how he performed.
Yeah.
Right. He performed.
I mean, the Senegal team in and of itself.
Yes, all underperformed.
Did not perform.
All of them underperformed. So, but Sadio Mane was the architect.
You can't.
Did they really underperform?
I mean, after 10 years, they come out to say that the team doctor is a gynecologist and all of that. I mean, that goes to the heart of the fact that the entire team was
Mane got one assist.
Yeah,
they're only making excuses.
Was not up there.
So one assist.
Refereeing decisions
mixed. Let's just say mixed. But then again, I mean, I've come to understand that, right? In competitions, tournament football, usually the big teams get decisions for them.
I was saying this thing and you were disagreeing with me a week ago.
Oh, me, Masa, we were saying it on specific subjects.
No, I was saying this, that big teams are favored in terms of refereeing decisions. In fact, when Haaland was knocked out,
he admitted.
He admitted that he is favored in games when he's playing for City.
Yeah.
And so they understand that the referees are lenient towards big teams. And I made that point here that's why all of the rigging suddenly when Argentina lost, everybody stopped saying the World Cup was rigged. But had they won, the narrative is that the World Cup was rigged.
But I said it earlier in my presentation.
But you know they would have really drummed it if they had won with 0 shots on target.
No, but I said it earlier today in the presentation.
Yeah.
That the referee was favoring Argentina. There were so many infringements that should have been taken.
As in the Spanish game?
Yeah, the Spanish game, yes. There were certain things that the Argentine players did.
Well, the red card fair.
Yes, but even preceding the World
also
Cup,
did something that
the red
deserved
card.
a yellow, but
Preceding
the red card, I think
fair.
For the second foul, yes, but the first one, no.
I don't remember how the first
foul.
Descent.
Yeah,
it was descent.
No,
descent is straight yellow. It was descent.
The first yellow for Enzo.
It was descent.
What he did for him to
it was descent.
For him to get the first yellow card.
I watched the game throughout. There was dissent on a number of occasions.
The referee also
and he actually didn't even open his mouth to even hurl invectives at the referee.
Yes.
He just through his arm I mean that wasn't a yellow.
But on a usual day.
That wasn't a yellow.
No,
in terms of the temperature of the game,
the referees
that wasn't a yellow.
Okay, you are talking about temperature, I understand.
Yeah, but because there had been similar of such incident referee by all means, the second ball was a yellow card. But that you can't argue about. But anyways, I mean the game is going.
Also consider that maybe. So usually, right, some referees will keep quiet, but maybe Enzo had triggered him before that descent incident because usually
it is possible. Highly possible.
Referees count a number of times a player comes at them for some reason, and then at some point they decide that you will take a yellow.
Whether sometimes. You can commit so many fouls. The next foul which gives you a yellow is not a yellow card.
It's not a yellow card offense, but they'll give you the yellow anyway because
those ones happen.
So
right?
it could have happened in that game. You never know. So, anyways, but it was a fair sending off. Fair.
Oh, by all means, there cannot be an argument as to that. And like I said, congratulations to Spain. I think they were worthy winners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Particularly on the day.
Yeah. Absolute domination.
I think Scaloni got it wrong with the lineup.
Fair. I was shocked they didn't start Paredes in the lineup.
I think he should have gone with what worked all throughout the tournament.
Yeah.
The 4-man midfield because Spain dominated the ball pretty much.
Yeah.
The 4-man midfield would have given them a bit more in terms of being able to control the ball and play out. Starting Gonzalez meant we're trying to do it from the wings, which left them a bit short in the middle, and they were outplayed. I felt by the time he decided to bring Paredes on, the game was gone. It was gone in terms of momentum.
Yeah. Was there really anything wrong with the starting lineup? I think you see the point is that
I think in terms of
who he should have started.
Yes, he should have gone with his four-man midfield, and then he would have brought on the wingers to stretch the game because they would have gone down eventually by a goal. Then those changes would have made more sense. The changes which he had done.
Benefits of hindsight.
No, I mean, when the game started, everybody realized that they were being played off the park.
Yeah.
And there was no debate about it. They were being played off the park, and so but Spain absolutely they slayed a lot of giants in the lead up to that final, and no other winners worthy of it than Spain. Bill, thank you very much. I'm so the debate is. I don't think there's a debate, right? So I take back my words.
Whatever you think.
The conversation is
whatever you think. Your goats try to scam us with 0 shots on target in 120 minutes of a World Cup final.
So I allowed you do the sermon, right?
Oh no, we are done. Thank you very much.
Here
we are going to New Day. Thank you.
I'm just telling you that your microphone is off. I'm just saying that after all is said and done, who is the greatest footballer of all time?
Lamine Yamal.
You can't even. You see, that is the shamelessness of Ronaldo fans. You continue to move from one player to the other. But let me talk to you about latex foam pretty quickly.
It is finished.
In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. Mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback. It's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. Mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback. It's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. Mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback. It's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm, it rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm, it rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm, it rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm, it rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
All right, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition, to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button, and we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire, more fire. My name Black Rasta. All right, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition, to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button, and we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire, more fire. My name Black Rasta. All right, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition, to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button, and we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire, more fire. My name Black Rasta. All right, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition, to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button, and we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire, more fire. My name Black Rasta. All right, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition, to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button, and we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire, more fire. My name Black Rasta. All right, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition, to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button, and we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire, more fire. My name Black Rasta. All right, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition, to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button, and we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire, more fire. My name Black Rasta. All right, so my name Black Rasta, and of course, the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition, to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button, and we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire, more fire.
Who is a member of the NDC's National Communications team. I got the indication that, he's a medical doctor, but I got the indication that there's a bit of a challenge with our NPP rep for this morning's conversation, Ross Osei Usu. We're working the phone lines too as well. rectify that for you. But Dr. Mawuena Agri is in studio with me. We're talking the president's tour of the Volta region and the third term conversations. Dr. Bawumia on the tribunal bill as well as the Abdul Hanan petition, which is due. He's been making case of harassment, raising questions about due process, amongst other things. On the 3FM Sunrise.
The big conversation on 3FM Sunrise. The big conversation on 3FM Sunrise.
Dr. Prince Mawuena Agri, like I mentioned, is a communications member of the NDC. He's joined us in the studio. Patrice is still here with me as well in studio. Doc, good morning to you. I trust that all is well.
Good morning, my brother. I'm doing extremely well.
Fantastic. You were listening on the sports conversation. Where do you stand on the GOAT debate?
Oh, for me, I'm a strong Ronaldo fan.
Oh, okay. You are part of the...
And I'll tell you why. You see, Messi is extremely talented, no two ways about it. But it's been proven consistently, time and time and again, and you see the level of influence by the officials when it comes to Argentina.
Are we going down a rabbit hole that never ends?
So I mean, this is a very clear.
Speak to me about tangibles. What makes Ronaldo a far superior player than Messi? When the GOAT debate comes around, that's what we're interested in, not intangibles like.
So let me tell you one thing.
Suppose refereeing decisions and.
When it gets to a football game, what is the final outcome? What is supposed to be the final? Is the goals, right?
Yeah.
That determines it. Who has more goals than the other?
Ronaldo has.
Thank you. So that settles it. That's all. Football is about goals.
Oh, okay. Ronaldo has more Champions Leagues.
Who has more Champions League goals?
Ronaldo has more Champions League goals.
Yeah.
Proceed. Because that's where it ends.
Yes, but that is where it's supposed to end. Football is about goals, and that is all.
I'm sorry.
Oh, please. What else?
But anybody who says all football is because of goals, then strikers, we should just leave it to strikers so that they'll play.
My brother, at the end of the game, who beat who? By 3 goals to 2, 3-1, 2-0, 4. So it makes you a winner.
Anybody wants to disagree with
a winner is determined by the number of goals you score.
We'll leave it to
strikers. And the person who's got more goals is Cristiano Ronaldo.
We'll leave it to strikers to slug it out, and then we'll.
Perhaps he's played more games than Messi.
It's not perhaps. He has actually played in excess of 130 games more.
Yes.
And the difference between them and goals is about 60 something.
Great.
So
my point is,
a far superior player when it comes to conversion rate?
Is that what you're looking at, or we're looking at who the leader is? I don't care whether you came into the game late or not. You decided to be part of the competition. If you say no, I'm staying away from this.
Nobody is arguing about who has scored more goals, but is that the only metric in determining who?
Oh, for me, you see, my people will say in the crack and saying, football is all about leading the goal chart. That's all, and he's led it.
Who led the goal chart at this tournament?
Mbappe.
Where was he? Where did he end up?
Oh, he was booted out when it came to the third position. Yeah.
You said football is all about goals.
No, goals, yes. So I'm not comparing him to Cristiano Ronaldo.
No.
It's all about goals, yes.
You made a blanket statement. Football is all about goals.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying that if it's all about goals,
yes,
you can leave strikers to slug it out. But I've given you just one instance.
Yes.
Who won the Golden Boot at this tournament?
It was Mbappe.
Where did he end up?
4th place. Does that mean anything?
Why didn't the goals If
He
football,
won the Golden Boot.
if football was all about goals,
He won the Golden Boot.
that would have mattered in who won the World Cup, wouldn't it?
No.
He's making an argument to support my case.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
you don't know how to
Yes.
to do this.
Yes.
No, all I'm saying is you can score useless goals, which amounts to nothing.
Oh,
When you
there are useless goals.
No, I mean,
I
you-
never knew.
But in regards to the fact that football is all about goals, well, I believe that there's more to football than goals.
Oh,
absolutely.
so technically,
has always been actually.
Oh, so okay, we can extend it to scouting for players. Your trade. You want us
No,
to extend it? I'm looking
not,
at.
I'm not talking about
At the end of the
scouting
day,
and all of
what
that.
makes a
I'm saying
person
that-
outstanding?
I'm saying that what I think the point is, yes, goals win you games.
Yes.
Defense wins you titles.
Right.
That is true then. It is true now. Spain didn't score the most goals at this
Defense
tournament.
and also midfield. Spain
But
had
they
a-
scored.
No, I'm saying
With a
like
goal.
in terms of defense, they had the best defense. They considered just one goal. They didn't score as many goals as possible.
Right.
Patrice, please come this way for
Right,
me.
okay.
So, yeah. Right. They didn't score as many goals. Argentina scored the most goals.
Right. And even France even scored more.
So where were all the goals for all of the teams? So it takes more than just goals. In the 2016 Euros,
3FM
when
92.7.
Portugal won, they didn't score a lot of goals, but they won. Defense will win you titles.
I really wish that there had been a situation where Messi had legitimately, won a lot of his titles. No.
Yeah.
It would have been very clear that Messi would have been the GOAT. He wouldn't have had so much to say. But
Dog,
I mean,
you are yeah.
I mean, time it, Seblata.
Yes.
I mean, openly,
Made a preference. Yeah, he preferred. Was it Messi to?
Now Infantino also made a similar statement.
Oh, I see.
I mean, not openly, but you can see from their reactions. And I think there was an interview whereby he mistakenly said that he wanted Argentina to win or something. Before
that thing is false.
Really? It's AI.
In fact, Bill said the same thing here. I challenged him until he couldn't prove it was false.
Oh, really? AI.
You understand? That's why always when these things come, I just laugh. Because if we want to talk about refereeing decisions, I mean, those things are past and gone because the player you support has benefited from wrong refereeing decisions than anybody.
When?
The 3 Champions Leagues.
Oh, you can't mention his name.
No,
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay. I don't hate Ronaldo. In fact, I always tell people that I was I've been a huge Ronaldo fan at some point, but I just realized Messi was a better footballer.
Oh yeah, Messi is.
There's no debate about it. He's a better footballer. There cannot be a debate as to who is far superior. And so I came to that realization. That's all.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't speak about it. But anyways, so it means you were supporting You were supporting Spain yesterday. And you were excited when they won.
If Argentina had won,
you would have been very disappointed. I wasn't disappointed in the end because I think having watched the game, I mean, it was very difficult to make a case as to why Argentina should win after just the 90 minutes. They weren't playing well. Spain dominated throughout. And so, I mean, there were no surprises.
No, you see, I wouldn't say they were not playing. I would say Spain dominated. I'll use the latter. They dominated, but Argentina played.
They can dominate you, but at least
Argentina
you were
played
able
good
to
football.
play at least something.
Argentina
right?
played good
but
football.
They couldn't do well enough.
You know, a player deliberately touched the ball with his hand.
Oh no!
Yesterday.
I'm not sure.
Yesterday happened. An Argentine player, yeah.
In the box.
Not in the box.
No,
in the course of play.
In the course of play.
Yeah,
I mean,
he hit the ball. He wasn't mistakenly. He hit the ball. The ball was good.
So
there was no card shown to him.
Those ones are part of the game.
But anyways, it was a good World Cup.
Yeah, it was a good World Cup.
Yeah.
One I thoroughly enjoyed, I have to be honest, because there was lots of excitement for me throughout the tournament.
Norway was my superstar team. Because to be ranked 36 in the world and then play as they have played, I think they
ended up in the top
good.
8, right?
Yeah, they did
they
good.
ended up
They
in the
did
top
good.
8.
They did very good.
You're not by Argentina.
Yeah, I think
England.
England knocked them out. Yeah, can you imagine? For me, the most disappointing team was England.
Oh,
The
they
most-
were third.
Oh, the most
Their
disappointing.
best finish since '66.
The most disappointing
So
team.
you can't.
See how they played against France. Why did they recoil against Argentina? You played well. You were
It was a
open,
game.
playful,
It was
and all
a
that.
game they all didn't want to play, so they just went all out and went to score goals and cruised.
And then, okay,
that
then
that
that's
was
it.
what. I mean,
No
when
problem.
there's a lot at stake, you don't play the way both teams played.
I didn't understand that game they played against
3FM,
Argentina. I think
You
it
don't.
was
You
the
don't.
worst
You don't.
technical
you don't,
decision ever.
You don't play carefree in the manner in which both
Oh,
teams play.
Tuchel or Tuchel should be sacked.
And all of that. He's not going to be sacked. So, I mean, that's it.
Thank
But,
you.
Doug, let's get into the conversations proper. The NPP flag bearer says that President Mahama should not be assenting to the tribunal's bill. Rather, you should be having a national dialogue to pick thoughts as to whether or not proceeding is a good idea. I want us to listen to him briefly, then I'll come back in studio for us to get into the conversation. This is the NPP's flag bearer, Dr. Bawumia.
I speak to you that has the potential to reshape our justice delivery system, confidence in our judiciary, and the future of our democracy altogether. The attempt to reintroduce tribunals into Ghana's judicial system. Last week, Parliament passed the Tribunals Bill 2026. The mandatory one-day interval between the consideration stage and the third reading was waived so that the bill could be passed on the same day. The minority's objections were voted down. Organized labor objected loudly and publicly, but was ignored. The bill will soon be transmitted to the President for his assent. I have one respectful request of President Mahama. Mr. President, do not assent to this bill. Pause and let the nation ponder and deliberate on this very important matter.
92.7.
This is not a partisan request. The Trades Union Congress, the voice of millions of Ghanaian workers, has called for the bill to be withdrawn altogether, warning that in its current form, it could become a potent tool for weaponizing justice delivery. Those are the words of Ghanaian workers, not of any political party. Consider also the government's own process. The President established the Constitution Review Committee, and it reported last December. This committee recommended removing regional tribunals from the Constitution because the High Court has long carried their caseload. Yet, the report of the committee has not been published. Before the nation has even read it, Parliament has rushed through and legislated in the opposite direction. Mr. President, publish the report first. Above all, Mr. President, reflect on the historical antecedents of the public tribunal system. Under this bill, panels that include persons who are not lawyers may sit in judgment over criminal matters. Ghanaians remember tribunals, and we remember what was done in their name. Our courts are congested, yes, but the answer to congested courts is to strengthen the courts, more judges, more courtrooms, and digitized processes. It is not to build a second system of justice. Mr. President, your government commands one of the largest
92.7.
majorities in the history of the Fourth Republic. With such numbers, Parliament can pass almost any bill it wishes. Not everything that can be passed should be passed. The larger the majority, the greater the duty of restraint. History will not ask how many votes a law received. It will ask whether the law is just, equitable, and seeks to promote and protect the interests of Ghanaians. My call is therefore simple and constructive. Withhold your assent. Convene genuine national engagement. Invite the Ghana Bar Association and other lawyers groups, organized labor, civil society, and the political parties, including my own. We will come in good faith and consult the judiciary itself, the institution that must live with whatever Parliament creates. Justice belongs to no government and no party. It belongs to the Ghanaian people. And a law that reshapes the architecture of justice should rest on national consensus, not on head count. Mr. President, the pen is in your hand. Use it not to assent to this bill, but write an invitation to the nation through the Council of State in accordance with Articles 90 and 106 of the 1992 Constitution. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Thank you.
That's the NPP's flag bearer, 053 220 0927. 053 220-0927 is the number through which you can share your thoughts with us for this conversation. And I've heard Patrice a lot on this, and so I'm going to come to you, Doc, on this as well. Your thoughts on the NPP flag bearer's position says that pause, reflect, open up for conversations, and let's arrive at a decision whether this is good for us as a people or not.
Good morning, my brother, and good morning to our lovely listeners. Now, for years, we've basically been complaining, we've mourned, and we've, constantly been worried about the constant delay when it comes to prosecution of cases within the country. One case, one civil case can take 5 years, 10 years, 15 years for it to be prosecuted. In fact, some days you may even end up being in court, and then before you realize, you even grow old, and then the whole court case becomes, non-factual. So basically, we notice a phenomenon whereby our courts are constantly choked. Our courts are constantly filled with cases. There's constantly a backlog of cases within our court system, which leads to constant delay when it comes to prosecution. And I want to state categorically that His Excellency President Mahama is not in any way altering the judiciary. What we are doing is actually completing and augmenting the judicial system of Ghana. Now, Article 126 of the Constitution clearly states that there's a provision made for regional and district tribunals within our constitution. So I'm very surprised at the cries and moans by our colleagues in the NPP. And in fact, I don't understand where their cries and moans are coming from, because if there's a law within the constitution and you know clearly that you haven't abused any laws within the constitution, I don't understand where the cries are coming from. You understand? This is a reformal tribunal. It is not something that was existed within the 1980s as they made it to seem. In fact, in the 1980s, we were in a military regime, so obviously things were much different then. Now, the tribunal systems that we are going to, experience is going to be quite different. In that, first of all, it's constitutional. It's not something that we are picking out of the blue. It is within the Constitution. In fact, Article 126 of the 1992 Constitution clearly mandates and states the rules and regulation with regards to the implementation of the tribunals. Now, also, it's going to improve access to justice. Now, you realize that there are some farmers, maybe in the districts, in the rural areas, which maybe they have a legal case, a legal matter, and then they have to come to the cities in order to prosecute, in order to have their legal cases heard. So you realize that what happens is, they end up having to spend a lot of money on transportation. It ends up affecting their...
But isn't that where the district courts, and there are district courts, there are circuit courts, there are high courts in all of these regions as well?
Yes.
That should be able to take care of all of that.
Yeah, so these, circuit courts, district courts and all that are in existence. But what's happening is there's been a constant backlog of cases. For example, one case can take more than 5 years, more than 10 years for it to go through the thorough legal process for a verdict to be passed. So you realize that this is going to help speed up and expedite legal matters, and then basically going to improve the legal sector. Now also safeguards are built. The MPP have expressed consistently the fact that they are afraid or concerned that this is going to be a means of political persecution. Now this is not like the PNDC era. Now this is different.
What's the assurance this is different? Because if you listen to all of the groups who have been speaking to this, they make the point and they make it clearly that we've seen what tribunals have become in the past. Having gone through the processes, there are no safeguards to ensure that it doesn't return to the jungle justice we saw in the past. How different will this one be?
Now, first of all, in the past, there was a military regime, and in this current regime, we are in a constitutional rule. Secondly, now there are codes of conduct, there are disciplinary rules, appointment and removal procedures, and also decisions subject to appeal. So one of the main difference in this situation is that even after your case has gone through the tribunal system and then you are prosecuted, there's room for appeal through the appeal court or the high court. Now, there's also certain exclusions. Now, the tribunal courts will not try human rights cases, also constitutional cases or treason cases. So clearly, you can see that the aim is not to abuse rights, but rather to ensure speedy prosecution of pertinent issues. Because when you look at the pace at which so many cases are going, one government comes in, starts prosecution, one case takes over. I mean, so far, currently, even the Wontumi case has ended up lasting more than 1 year, and they keep on going to court in and out. So you realize that it is one situation which is going to expedite prosecutions. Now, by expediting prosecutions, I'm from the health sector, so obviously, I'm very passionate about the health sector, and I'll give certain examples. Now, for example, during 2021, during the height of the COVID pandemic, there was a Sputnik V vaccine procurement deal, whereby whilst numerous countries were procuring vaccines such as AstraZeneca and all that, the government of Ghana, the Minister for Health at the time, Ajimamenu, decided to procure Sputnik V through Arabian middlemen.
Yeah, that story.
Yes, and you look at the deal, you realize that each vaccine was supposed to have been sold for $10, but it ended up being sold to the government of Ghana for $19 without cabinet or parliamentary approval. And there are so many cases that are pending on the Attorney General's desk, awaiting prosecution, but because of the numerous prosecutorial delays through the high courts, and that's why we decided to implement. In fact, during the 2024, before the 2024 elections, as part of our campaign, our manifesto clearly stated that we're going to reinstitute tribunals. We're going to fully implement the oral. And these were some of the reasons why the Ghanaians voted massively for the NDC. Because you realize that the Ghanaians saw exactly what was happening within the country and decided that no, they needed a change. They needed people who were going to ensure prosecutions. So basically, we are fulfilling our mandate to the people of Ghana. We are basically fulfilling our promises to the people of Ghana who gave us the mandate. We are not here on our own. The NDC government is not here on our own. We are here to basically serve the people of Ghana, and which is what we intend to do. Now, the NPP are extremely worried about the fact that it's going to be biased. The committee and then the appointments are going to be biased, and that the decisions that are going to be taken by the courts are going to be biased. And in fact, these tribunals exist in so many countries. In the UK, in Rwanda, and even in South Africa, they still practice tribunal courts. And even recently, the UK had tried to, modify or change it. And then the member of parliament in the UK, vehemently went against it because they realized the importance of the tribunal system. Also, with the tribunal system, you realize that aside it gives room to the ordinary Ghanaian to also have a form of verdict. It gives room to the ordinary Ghanaian to also have a say.
But shouldn't that be the sole preserve of persons who appreciate and understand legal matters?
No, I don't believe so. And because the person has to have a level of integrity, the person has to have a level of understanding in the principles of the law. But the person doesn't necessarily have to be a lawyer, and then I'll explain why. I mean, in numerous countries, even teachers, sometimes teachers, carpenters, doctors are made a part of the jury. They are made to...
But that's a jury system. This one, the person is a panel member. Is there a difference in terms of that?
So, I mean, the panel members will still be able to understand the law, will still be able to implement and then make decisions with regards to the law. And basically, so the reason why this is going to help and assist is because, let's say, for example, somewhere during the debt restructuring program, a number of people, even a personal colleague of mine, who had his money in in this investment, in these stocks and in these investments, had a family emergency around the time. Okay, his mom had developed cancer, and he had to urgently withdraw this amount. But he went to the financial institution and was told that, according to the new debt restructuring program, if he went in, he wasn't going to get the full amount, and then he had to wait for 5 years and all that. So eventually he wasn't able to get the amount of money needed to
take care of
his mom. So, people like this would understand the situation, would be able to understand the legal matters, and be able to appreciate and then contribute effectively to the but however, as I said earlier, even after a verdict is passed, there's a room for appeal with the Court of Appeal and the High Court. So the MPP shouldn't be afraid, they shouldn't be concerned, they shouldn't be worried about the fact that it's going to be a political witch hunt. In fact, so far, the laws in Ghana give so much room, so much space and it's very lenient when it comes to prosecution. So they shouldn't be concerned about the fact that this is going to be a political witch hunt. It's a tribunal. It already exists within the 1992 Constitution, and it's something that we are barely implementing and bringing back to life. Now, they keep on mentioning that it's an old system, something that has outlived its usefulness. I'm going to make a comparison when it comes to the health sector, something we call primary healthcare. Primary healthcare before had also become defunct. And that's something that earlier this year we decided and we analyzed and we evaluated the importance of it, because you realize that there are systems in place. Now we have the national level, we have the regional level, we have the district level, and even sub-district and community level. Now, from the district, sub-district, and community level, you realize that they don't have the same access to legal services, to healthcare services, as compared to the national and then the regional level. So, with regards to primary healthcare, we decided to institute it in order to increase access at the sub-district, community, and then the district levels when it comes to the community health planning services, when it comes to the health centers.
So what you are saying, you are seeking to do the same with tribunals?
So I'm saying that when the point that it has outlived its usefulness doesn't apply here, because we are aiming to reach the inaccessible people, the people who before would have to, spend long days at
the argument again, which is very sound, right, is that the money you are going to use to set up regional tribunals, district tribunals, and appoint persons and spend money and all of that. That money is needed in the current structure. Have you seen the courts? A number of them are dilapidated. In fact, lower court judges have been complaining about remuneration, standard of working conditions, amongst other things. Those are areas where, when you look at, you begin to address issues directly in relation to justice delivery.
3FM.
Then the court system in itself, e-justice system, and supporting the judiciary to ease the burden within the space. That is where attention is. If you create an additional court, I'm sorry, but you haven't solved the problem.
So the tribunals are one part of numerous reforms we are instituting. Okay, it's not basically the only reform. And in fact, the president has said that he's going to digitize the courts to ensure that adjournments no longer frustrate the ordinary citizens. And they will also create specialized courts for land and commercial cases. So this is not the only reform we are making. There are going to be numerous reforms within the judicial system, which we are going to institute. But we are starting and then we are working with this at this particular moment because it was part of our commitment to the people of Ghana with regards to the social construct and then the promises we made to them, and part of the reasons why they voted overwhelmingly for us. So it means that this is something that the people of Ghana want. This is something that the people of Ghana are cheering for. This is something that the people of Ghana are championing. And then as representatives of the people of Ghana, we must listen to their views and then to their perceptions, and make sure that we lead, and then make sure that the people who are, found of corrupt deeds are brought to justice.
So there is no jungle justice which will be delivered. I'm going to read a few comments which have come in relation to the subject matter. Sefiamo sends this one in, says that what exactly is the fear of Bawumia and the NPP in this tribunal's law being implemented? We've all complained about the growing incident of delays in court where people are remanded overly, even on petty cases of plantain theft. So if there is a tribunal that will deal with these cases expeditiously, deal with those issues, the NPP says what? They should allow the constitution to work. He says they should give us a break. He adds, the tribunals, the cases they are going to deal with, they are very specific. I'm not going to be dealing with petty theft, amongst other things. Is that appreciation there for members even as we continue in this conversation that, this will help in justice delivery, amongst other things?
Okay, so I noticed that one of the recurrent, topics for discussion is that the people are not clearly aware of the overlapping or the functions between the tribunals and the traditional court systems. So I'll give a brief difference in the functions. So the traditional courts basically have a broad general jurisdiction in all legal matters, human rights, constitutions, treason, fraud, everything. Tribunals are highly specialized and focus on distinct administrative, regulatory, or civil matters. Now, also when it comes to procedures, the traditional courts follow strict, rigid rules of evidence and formal pleadings, which end up taking years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, sometimes 20 years, you are still going to court. And it ends up dragging everything. Now, the tribunals are more flexible. They are, they are quick, they are faster, they are able to prosecute people, with the right evidence, and then able to bring people to justice. So the speed is one. Secondly, the level, the specialization, the function is one. Now also the personnel. Now the courts, the High Court, the Court of Appeal, Supreme Court are presided over by judges who have basically broad legal training. Tribunals are often, made up of subject matter experts, in addition to the appointment by the Chief Justice in conjunction with the Judicial Service and the President, also in conjunction with the Judicial Service. Now, the right of appeal, as I've stated clearly, tribunals, the MPP shouldn't be afraid. I mean, once you haven't committed a crime, you shouldn't be afraid of. If I'm sitting here, as I'm here, I'm not afraid of the tribunal because I know I haven't committed any crime.
No, because it's your party that's bringing it, and so you not have any cause of concern.
Not necessarily, because President Mahama has shown time and time and again that regardless of your party affiliations, if you are caught breaking the law, you would be prosecuted. The law would have its effect on you. So he's not one who will defend you based on your party affiliations, and he's one who is very firm when it comes to the law. So it's not in regards to the party, but it's in regards to the fact that it's something that's going to, give hope to the people of Ghana. Because right now, to be honest with you, the people of Ghana are losing hope in the judicial system. They are losing hope in the country because the most,
And in giving hope is bringing a tribunal and making 3 additional appointments to the Supreme Court?
Yes, because the people of Ghana are going to see that people who are culpable, and again, this is not a political witch hunt. It's for people who are caught culpable of, looting state resources, stealing state funds, and misappropriation of funds. And it's something that I'm very passionate about, because some years back, can you imagine a whole major unit as the chemotherapy and radiotherapy unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital wasn't functioning? But again, this is a government that had money to spend. In fact, that had money to spend on procurement of over 300 ambulances, which cost to the tune of over $54 million. You understand? Which was clearly bloated. And this was a government that was able to go into a contract with a private company called the Frontier Medical Services.
So you want to prosecute those matters before the tribunal?
Want to prosecute basically all corruption cases, and try and then retrieve funds. And as I said, it's going to give a lot of promise to the people of Ghana, because the average Ghanaian, the floating voter or the average Ghanaian is extremely disappointed in the previous government's performance. So one of the campaign promises was for the ORA and for the institution of the tribunal system. And this is something that we are really pushing.
Right. You're still with us here on the 3FM Sunrise. We're going to go for this quick break. When we return, we'll get into other matters, and hopefully a guest with the NPP as well will have joined us in studio for a quick chat. 19 minutes into the show, this is the 3FM Sunrise for you here on 3FM 92.7. In the last 20 plus minutes, we've been speaking to the concerns of the NPP, right, in relation to the Public Tribunal's bill and Dr. Prince Amoaben Agri, MD. These days you have to differentiate. Is our guest in studio. He's been speaking to us. Richard Ahiagba is the Director of Communications of the NPP. He will join us in studio shortly as well as we pick thoughts. So, Doc, just by way of a concluding thought from you before Richard joins us in studio, you say you're not paying heed at all to any of the concerns to have you pause on this and you proceed forthwith.
Yes. I would want to appeal to the President of the land, His Excellency, President Mawuena Mahama, on with regards to the tribunal bill, and appeal to him to sign it as soon as possible to ensure that all persons caught culpable with mismanagement of state funds, looting of funds, and stealing will be prosecuted according to the law. And it's something that the Ghanaian people want. It's something that we promised the Ghanaian people during our campaign. It's something that we assured the Ghanaian people, and it's something that the Ghanaians voted massively for us into power. So it's something that I want to appeal to His Excellency to implement.
Right. Like I mentioned, Richard Ahiagba has joined us in studio just quickly. Mr. Ahiagba, I appreciate you joining us as well this morning. For you in the NPP, you say the tribunal is a no-go area. Yesterday, the flag bearer was speaking as well and is asking for the government to pause on it and hold a more consultative conversation. Why is that? Because from all of the justifications which have come forth, they say this will help speed up the justice delivery process. This already exists within the country's constitution. We're just giving it life again since the NPP decided to take life out of it. Nothing being done is unconstitutional or illegal. So where is the concern?
Well, thank you. And good morning to my friend and your listeners. I don't think the NPP has a concern. We're essentially amplifying the voices of Ghanaians against this tribunal. It's not as if we've not had it before. We've had it. And the history is poor. It's not one you go back to. And so, to that extent, President Mahama should put on the brakes. The Trade Union Congress is opposed to this. And so this is not an MPP, NDC matter. It's NDC, the people's matter. It's NDC, Ghanaians matter. And President Mahama must listen to the people, because it's the people mandate is exercising.
92.7.
So if he doesn't want to listen to the people, perhaps he will not, but his party will live to regret it.
92.7.
Right now, as we speak, what matters for the people of Ghana, and to my good brother, who is sadly a member of the NDC, is jobs. Is jobs. Why is President Mahama not spending his energy on that? Today, unemployment is worse. Cost of living is skyrocketing. And then you go and double down on creating a system that will put additional financial burden on the state, when we have a system that you can invest in within a limited proportion to have the outcome you are seeking. What problem are they seeking to solve with this public tribunal? To clear a backlog of cases, to dispense justice expeditiously? Invest in the current system, build more courts, appoint more judges to take care of the cases, leverage digital technology. You have your solution. This provision has been in our constitution since 1992. Because of the history of that, nobody wants it. It's not needed. There's no place, there's no vacuum this is going to fill. It is creating a problem that we don't need. A problem that would lead to abuse. The Trade Union Congress, the Secretary General says something, and I agree with him in toto, to say that if this thing moves ahead, it will give credence to the perception that the justice delivery system of our country is up for grabs.
How so?
Well, you can ask the Trade Union Congress Secretary General. The perception that this tribunal can be abused, can be weaponized to target people, is a credible conclusion anybody can reach. The NDC came, they say corruption. If you want to fix that, expand, invest in the judiciary as we have it. That's what your solution is, and not create this thing, invoke this insensitive history that our people have suffered. Today, when you talk about the tribunals, many people don't know about it, haven't heard about it, remotely can imagine it, that some people's rights were abused under that setup. People were abused in this country under that. And that is not a history we are proud of. That's why President Rawlings himself did not activate that necessarily to work with, because people won't go for it. The fact that it is in the Constitution does not make it that you implement it because people are objecting to that. And now the Trade Union Congress's position tells you that Ghanaians don't want it. But the NDC wants to move ahead with it.
Is context not a bit more important? I say context here is suggesting that at the time, the history which we speak about was a military regime where rights abuses were rampant. The argument which has been put forward is that in a democracy as we have it today, the proliferation of the media, for one, right abuses cannot go as was witnessed then. And so there are safeguards
hold on first.
Within the current
right
system.
Abuses in which democracy is being protected because we have proliferation of media. The media itself is being targeted for talking. So how do you think that there's going to be a room where the media now talks against abuses of a tribunal and that then will solve a problem? The media itself is under attack. So where is the recourse? We don't have a recourse. The only recourse is that don't start this to begin with. There's no point. Nobody needs this. What we need is jobs. Where are the jobs? They told us 24-hour economy. Where in the name of God are the jobs? Where are they? Where is it? Where's the job? President Mahama promised us an agriculture for economic transformation agenda, a 4-year program anchored by the Feed Ghana program. A 4-year program. We are here. Ask me, maybe my good brother can tell us the extent of that the implementation. 2025, I have a right to information request that has gone through the ministry, has gone to appeal by the minister to provide the information, ignored, and now is before the commission, the Right to Information Commission, for the minister to respond. To date, he has refused. My next recourse is taken to court. But I've now come to a conclusion that they will not provide the information. Why? Because they have not done anything. That's the conclusion. If I ask you your name and you have a name, you tell me. You only refuse if you don't have a name or you're not proud of your name, or your name suggests something that you're not proud of and you won't tell me. If you have something, I ask you, you will give me, you say yes or no. Right? So the minister doesn't have the information to the extent of his implementation. I am a farmer myself. When this whole thing started, they came writing people's name. My farm's name has been written. We have not seen a drop of fertilizer given to anybody. We don't want it necessarily because we do organic farming. We have not seen a grain of fertilizer given to anybody. The Farmer Service Center, they said they will build continuously, put in budget. Where in the name of God is it? So these are the things that matter to Ghanaians. These are the reasons why they voted for you. Nobody voted for you to come and establish a tribunal. For what?
But it was in their manifesto.
To do what? But the 24-hour economy is in their manifesto. Yes. Why are they not implementing that? That's what is more consequential. So really, they are doing the peripheral matters that don't have any bearing on people's lives. So that the things that we really live by, the bread and butter issue, they don't care about that. They care about what? Persecuting political opponents. That's what they want to invest their time in. Then we have actually signed up to waste 4 years with this NDC administration. So this whole thing is bogus to begin with. It's needless. And Ghanaians are telling President Mahama, plain and simple. You know, I was just telling your colleagues at TV3 earlier on that, look, the 24-hour economy gained currency because the then Secretary General of TUC, Dr. Anthony Yauba, said it was a game changer. He gave it currency. Then he said it was a game changer. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
The 24-hour economy is a game changer. The same TUC says that this tribunal thing is a game changer in terms of invoking the sad memories of our country. That what we have gone through is not a proud moment in our history. Let's not bring it back. And you say what? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the MPP, we are only amplifying the voices of our people that says that, no, we don't want public tribunals. It's a waste of our time. We have urgent problems, sir. Please solve it, Your Excellency. We want jobs. We want jobs. Everything else will be added. In this economy, what everybody wants is jobs, and all other things will be resolved around it. That's the issue. We don't need tribunal. Nobody needs tribunal. And even though, look, this whole LGBTQ bill that they canvassed with in opposition and won election by, what is the urgency in dealing with it, apart from they have come to water it down?
Right.
What is that? So everything they are doing is not what they promised that they will do to change the lives of our people. They are doing the reverse, and that reverse is what Ghanaians are telling them, we don't want it. Please respect us and don't carry on. And Vice President and our flag bearer is simply appealing. And I love the language in which he put it, respectfully. Not a partisan request, but a request so Ghanaians can take a moment to understand your view and your motivation for advancing with this tribunal bill.
All right. Doc, I'm going to come to you, but just by way of a bit more in terms of details as to matters happening in the court, the judge is reading a judgment in relation to Chairman Woontumi's Samurai Boy case. If I can get a bit more in terms of the specifics as to what's been happening in the court. So the High Court has refused Samuel Atachia's application for adjournment, said that adjournment are the convenience of the court and not based on the personal inclination of lawyers. The court also dismissed the application for deferment and a referral to the Supreme Court, and so the judgment is being delivered as we speak at this particular hour. And so we will be on standby to get a bit more in terms of details as and when it does come through. But Doc, just quickly, you've spoken a great length in relation to this. Just brief, if response is what I can call it, to what Mr. Hyagba says, and then we can proceed to Abdul Hanan, because that's in relation to court matters and his petition to the AG.
Welcome, Richard. And as usual, the MPP have shown why. And as usual, the MPP have shown time and time again why the NDC decided to boot them out of government. And, and by virtue of Richard's arguments, he made mention of the fact that we spoke about 24-hour economy, we spoke about jobs, we have to focus on jobs. And the reason why, for me, this tribunal system is extremely important in regards to prosecution of cases is that from observation, and not just personal experience, but from people, working class citizens, and I'm not even going to go into politics. I'm going to talk about average working class citizens. Okay, when you interact with an average working class citizen about the performance of the previous government, you would see their utter disappointment and disregard in regards to their performance. Now, I'll tell you why. You realize that there were so many cases that came up with regards to these previous governments, with regards to certain corruption scandals still under investigations, yet to be concluded. And the only thing the citizens are crying for is oral. You promised us oral. You promised us the tribunal system. You promised us this. Why aren't you doing it? And it was clear in our constitution. It was clear in our manifesto. The NDC was clear about our mandate to the people of Ghana. We stated categorically that we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. And President Mahama has shown time and time again that he's a man of his word. Now, with regards to the employment and job opportunities, which is why we are doing the 24-hour market as part of the 24-hour economy. Now, I've seen so many arguments being made in regards to the 24-hour market and then the 24-hour economy. Now, I noticed there's a bit of, misunderstanding or poor understanding on the part of the MPP when it comes to this. Now, a market is not just going to be like an Agbo-Bloshi market, whereby traders just come and sell. It's going to be a comprehensive institution. Now, there's going to be commercial and logistics facilities, whereby we'll have shops, both lockable shops and open shops. Now, there are also going to be an open pavement whereby people can sell. There are going to be cold storage rooms whereby for cold store, and also there are going to be storage facilities, warehouse facilities, whereby whenever a person comes and then during the day the trader is not able to sell all her produce, she can keep it there without having to carry it back home. Now, there are also going to be lorry terminals and designated parks. Now, the lorry terminals and designated parks, what is it going to do? It's going to increase employment opportunities for who? Drivers. Now, the shops, they are going to increase employment opportunities for who? Traders. Now, there's also going to be a safety and security infrastructure. There's going to be a construction of a police center or a police or fire station. What's it going to do? Provide employment opportunity for who? The police service, the fire service. There are going to be digital payment infrastructure systems, IT systems, which is going to provide a form of employment opportunities for the IT personnel. Now, we are also going to have social and health amenities. There's going to be a clinic and a pharmacy who's going to be employed. Nurses, pharmacists, laboratory technicians, doctors, and, and so on and so forth. There's going to be a daycare center so that whenever mothers go to the market.
Right.
Now, I'm mentioning this because of the employment. He made mention of the fact that we should focus on other important things. Wait, hold on 1 minute. So, as I said, this is not the only thing we are doing. There are so many other things we are doing. But as part of our promise to the people of Ghana that we're going to institute and initiate this tribunal system, it's something that's extremely passionate and something that's extremely concerned. And then
you're seeing through with it, right? Well, I'm just gonna move ahead and get into the Hanan Abdul Wahab petition to the office of the Attorney General. He's had cause to petition the AG's office, raising concerns amongst many other things about fair trial and some other matters, and says that you've not been particularly fair to him as the NDC party in terms of his trial, which has been ongoing for quite some while. It's a 6-7 page petition, and he, amongst many other things, states unequivocally that he is innocent of the charges which have been leveled against him. He's committed no offense and is prepared to subject himself to any fair and just judicial process. It is for this reason that he finds the conduct of the AG's office and the agencies operating under the direction of the AG, including IOCO and the BNI, deeply troubling as they've systematically denied him fair process to which he's entitled under the same constitution. How do you respond to this? Hanan, Doc, Hanan says you've not been fair to him in all of this trial, and even from what it looks like, he may be right. You denied him from accessing medical treatment outside of the jurisdiction. His lawyers are even claiming that either BNI or UCO officials took possession of his wallet, and his £6,700 has not been returned to him, amongst others. You're not being fair to the man, are you?
You see, first of all, why would he want to access medical facility outside the country?
That's within his rights. The court granted him that.
You see, some years back, there was a video that was trending on regards to cooking materials, rice produce. Was the rice that was being served to the free SHS students, and you could see the produce, had there were insects in the rice, there were maggots, then there were, the rice was basically fermented and spoiled, and it was unfit for consumption, and it was seriously alarming. I mean, there were so many instances of cases that came up with regards to the national food
buffer stock.
So it's extremely concerning, and it's something that the Ghanaian people are closely following. And you realize that now Ghanaians have become very intellectual. Ghanaians have become very intuitive and don't just follow based on political colors or political affiliations. Now, there's a man who's being accused of embezzlement, national food buffer stock, a very major entity responsible for so many things, storage of food supplies, supplying to students and all that. And you look at the amount of money being mentioned, being involved, and it's alarming. And he's made mention of what certain prosecutorial,
it says you're not being fair to him. There's not been fair trial in terms of the dealings and the happenings in relation to him.
Now, I'm not going to say this a tit for tat, but were the MPP government being fair with regards to the numerous prosecutorial problems that happened during the previous government?
You are saying tit for tat.
No. That's why I said I'm not going to say tit for tat, but I'm going to say that there's been a precedent of so many legal matters. In fact, with regards to
in the Hanan case, you filed processes in court. When the trial began, you withdrew the charges against him.
Mm-hmm.
You filed fresh charges. He's asked to go and seek medical treatment outside. You arrested him in the middle of that journey. You've kept him in custody close to 48 hours. In the first instance, you granted him exorbitant bail, amongst other things. If you have a case against him, you should be prosecuting the matter in court and not arresting him, detaining him, and the back and forth. It does appear the state doesn't have a case against him. So you can make all the noise as to, huge amount of money, blah, 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 and blah, but you're not prosecuting the individual in court. How then do you justify what he says are abuses against this person?
No. With regards to the catch and release and then, the various prosecutorial, again, I'm not going to speak on, what do you call it?
The process.
No, I'm not going to speak on a tit for tat. I'm going to speak on precedents. Okay, and then the fact that when it comes to doing something or doing certain procedures or carrying out certain things, I mean, you must always be aware of the process. Now, we live in a country whereby the current finance minister, Honorable Atuforsen, was wrongfully accused of the ambulance procurement scandal, whereby he had to be going to court, and then, his reputation was basically smeared. He was just being tossed left and right, up and down. So many various instances of prosecutorial and legal situations. And we live in a country whereby even just a few years back, you were being arrested for freedom of speech. You were being arrested for speaking out. In the case of, for example, Apia Stadium, who's a popular social commentator, who in 2017 was arrested when an audio leaked in regards to the fact that he was making some comments about the president at the time. You know, we live in a country. We live in a country whereby we saw Bongo Ideas, a popular Twitter commentator, who was, you know, taken in the middle of the night with no consultation to his lawyers or anything, just by virtue of the fact that he made certain comments on social media in regards to the president and the first lady at the time. You know, we live in a country whereby female students, SHS students, Chiana SHS students, were dismissed for making certain comments about the president at the time. So I find it very hypocritical about this situation, that the MPP are trying to play victims to the certain allegations of prosecutorial, you know,
bias
and all that. And I'll conclude by saying this. Now, when you look at the processes that the Iyoko, he's made mention that Iyoko arrested him at a point in time, BNI arrested him, and then all that. With regards to the processes involved and all that, Iyoko, BNI have made it a point to regularly update, to lead, and then to abide strictly by the Constitution. So you realize that there are no constitutional breaches. They're just allegations of prosecutorial bias.
Right.
And this is even the point that I'm coming to. He made mention that this has lasted for a long period of time with no evidence and no prosecution because of the numerous backlog of cases, the numerous cases that choked our judicial system, which even goes to even further support the fact that we need the tribunal system to kind of fasten
to fast track the process.
For the process.
Right. Let me come to Richard as well on this subject matter on Annan and his concerns, writing to the AG's office. Someone will say he's writing to the office where he claims is abusing him. Will he get justice from there in deciding to raise concerns of abuse and all of that?
Yeah, but what options do we have? This is a system we have created, and we created it with the best of intentions to say that all of us will be equal before the law. But what we are seeing under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's government is that some citizens are more equal than others. But that said, you don't have any recourse. The only recourse is to revolt. But then we as a people have agreed, and the MPP most especially knows the pain of this fourth Republican democracy, and so therefore will be the last to do or encourage any revolt that will undermine it. And so, as tough as it is, we'll resort to using the framework that we have created for our democracy to operate. And our hope is that our institutions will be robust enough, will be independent enough to understand that's about the law and not about the person before it, that will hold the standard equal and, in place for everyone to have their time with it. What we are seeing is a record of abuse of the rights of citizens. And it's as if Ghanaians have forgotten what the NDC said in opposition. Perhaps the NDC itself, led by President Mahama himself as the opposition leader at the time, the things they said about justice delivery in this country seems they have forgotten. Where you are today treated as though you are a criminal before you are convicted by a court.
3FM,
what is unfolding before us is a clear effort by this government to treat suspected individuals the government is investigating for corruption and corruption-related conducts as though they are criminals to begin with. So they don't have rights. Their rights are seized. Their rights cannot be indulged. And so for an individual to go and seek medical health, that has become a matter in this country, so much that you can't have your rights to go when a court has granted you the occasion to do that. And I thought I heard my brother talk about why would Annan want to go and seek medical care.
Yeah, as for that, I intervened and said it's a matter of right.
Yeah.
It's a matter of right. And once the court grants it,
it's shocking. It's shocking. And then you're beginning to see a certain brand of arrogance emerge from the NDC, and that is confounding.
Well, an argument can be made that there's a general suspicion of leaving and not returning to the jurisdiction again.
What establishes that argument?
These days, Kenoforiata is a yardstick which is used on that front.
Kenoforiata is an outlier. Kenoforiata is an outlier case. A case specific in health that the man was already outside this country. You can argue Ken don't want to come back. And if I were Ken...
I'm just using that as an outlier.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I'm saying that it doesn't establish any pattern, okay, as an outlier case. There's no basis to conclude on an incident. It's not scientific. You understand, Mawuena? It's not scientific to conclude with an instance. When you have multiple instances, that is to the contrary. If you do that, then you are making a convenient conclusion because you have mischief to accomplish. The point that we must make is that this government, when they came, in their pious positioning that, oh, we want to fight corruption and all of this, what have they done? They have cleared their people. They've cleared their people. My brother, you've cleared your people. You disagree? You don't. You can't. It's a fact. You issue a nolle prosequi to clear your people.
Which people have we cleared?
We haven't cleared anybody. You choose to say we have cleared people because you thought it's a good political language, but we have not cleared anybody.
No, you are saying that we've cleared our people.
Yes.
Say, which people have we cleared?
Where is Honorable Collins Dauda, the man who dissipated $200 million to build a shell of housing for poor people? I consider myself a poor person. I could equally be benefiting. Yes.
Richard,
oh, yes.
Are you a poor person?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
On that tangent, I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with you.
No, I am. I am.
The slight smirk on your face.
I just told you that I'm a farmer.
Yes. Farmers are one of the richest people in this country.
Under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, farmers are impoverished. For your information.
You know that even...
Farmers are impoverished, my brother. Farmers are impoverished.
You know that even within your 8 years, you couldn't provide evidence about the Saglami housing project you are
that is not even the point. If you go there, you worsen your case, because the point is that the money was spent by you. You spent the money. You dissipated the money. You get the point? You give money to your wife to go to market, chop money, bring food. She didn't bring anything. And then she's accusing you of the little that was there. You were cooking it because your skills were not so up to speed and the food got burnt. She's accusing you for burning the food. If she had brought the wares from the market, what was burnt will not be an issue. You could just cook another one. Do you get it? He wasted the money. And so the person who was coming to salvage it, you are trying to say that he didn't salvage it. Who is the cause? But that man was cleared by an nolle prosequi. He's sitting very cool, cooling down in Parliament, as if nothing happened. Bro, it's terrible. So if this group of people are jumping up and down, creating tribunals and causing, people's rights to be abused, I don't know what else to describe you but people who misled Ghanaians into voting for you. And now that you have come into government, you are doing all you can to show us that we made the wrong choice. This Annan case, let the case go to court. I'm telling you that the NDC doesn't have any evidence of crime. The tribunal thing they are doing, they want to set up a kangaroo environment where their partisan people will sit in judgment of Ghanaians, set all caution to the wind, and abuse people. That's what they want the kangaroo tribunals to come and do for them. That's what it is. Because in the court system, they don't have the case, the evidence to prove anybody's guilt. Why? Kwabena Dubois, who started all these, ruckus, they arrest the individual at the airport, create all the drama, him and his wife, bail they can't give, go and dig your grandma from the grave and bring before we let you go home, set unreasonable bail conditions for the guy, kept him for a long period of time. Eventually, gave a guy a bail, now let's go deal with the issue. In court today, they don't have evidence of the 49 million that he said he has dissipated. They don't have evidence for it. They don't have evidence for it.
Right.
Where is the evidence? And so, to compensate for that, they will create a kangaroo tribunal court as they can, only they can, because that's where they come from. That's their heritage. So, Annan is a case they can't prove, so they create all these encumbrances to make it appear that you're a criminal. You know, Mawuena, why the Attorney General has stopped doing his briefings, the briefings that he does to indict people before the people get a chance to appear before a court. Why has he stopped? Because in court, he's not finding the evidence. Once he has finished indicting the people in public, now people are waiting. Let the court reflect your indictment. You try the people in public, but in court, you don't have the evidence.
Right.
So, this is much ado about nothing, but the only thing it's about is a demonstrable pattern of abuse of people's rights. And for me, we as Ghanaians, and you sitting where you are seated with your big mic, your mic is bigger than ours, is to canvass for these things to stop.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you as well. Are you going to court, by the way? Because I mentioned the Wontumi judgment was being...
I'm following the proceedings.
I hear it's long. She's now going through the preliminaries of the charges and some other things. I'm sure there'll be details of it, and we'll engage a bit more. But I appreciate you joining us in studio as well this morning.
Thank you.
As and when we get a bit more in terms of details on the Wontumi as well, we might resort to you as well. Doc, I appreciate you as well for coming in studio this morning.
3FM Sunrise.
I'm going to do quick birthdays, then we run out of the studio this morning. A happy birthday to Blessing Owusu Ansa. Oh,